This is for all you multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zola. No applause? You're all fired.
Now that you've reached the stage in your life where quality television is important, Nubian TV is a black network that speaks to your lifestyle. Nubian TV is the world's first digital network devoted to the upscale and political lifestyles of black people. Nubian TV's programming includes politics, travel, fashion, food, automotive, arts and culture, civil rights, music, and more. Watch now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or watch globally at nubiantv.net. Nubian TV, it's what you want to watch.
Each of you are in a relationship with somebody you have never met before.
We have been chit-chatting for about 5 months. We have been together for 4.5 years now.
I'm gonna go meet my man.
I'm just hoping that he likes me in real life.
I've been keeping something from you.
Well, our mental health has been thrown, pushed, maligned, dragged, clawed like a claw machine, prize. But we made it though. We made it to the end of the road of the never ever bets. And I'm not alone at the end of the road. Gigi.
I am here with you. Let me tell you, my emotions are in disarray. What is our favorite word? I'm behooved. I'm flabbergasted. I am appalled at the audacity of just everybody right now. Like I just okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm so my mind is jumbled. I don't know. If we're all watching the same episode and have watched this throughout the whole season, come on, guys, y'all know that this has been crazy. This is, okay. They topped first season. Well, I'm gonna give them that. They definitely topped the first season with the drama, with the secrets, with the emotional roller coaster of it all. Okay, and I'm glad we got a reunion. Can't wait.
Yep, because we have been asking for that. You know what? Since the last time we spoke, guess what? I have a new word that's bigger than flabbergasted. You ready?
What? Yes.
Flabbergagged.
Yep, I just choked even thinking about it. You're right. Yep.
I was flabbergagged. Okay, listen. With that being said, higher is waiting, lower is available. But either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. Hello, everyone. I am Braylon Lee. This is the one, the only, the gifted Gigi Nan, everybody here. Glad to have all of you here in the building for another edition of the Never Ever Mets After Show, child. Hey, Justine Bow, welcome in. Glad to have you here. So, you know, you predicted a lot. I don't think I mean, I gave predictions along the way, but I feel like I was more reacting this season. You can let me know your assessment of my assessment. I feel like I was more reacting to this season than predicting anything from my point of view. What do you think? Because we were excited for season 2. We announced it here on our channel. Of course, Gigi brought y'all the teaser, and then I brought y'all the trailer because we kicked it off the first season. But we did not know it was going to be this bad. But what's your take on my assessment? Because this has been a lot this season.
I feel like you've definitely been spot on with the assessments. Like, yeah, I have been making predictions, and we have seen it happen over and over. But I don't think with either one of us, knowing what we know and doing the job as well as we do, I don't think we was really even ready for this. Okay,
No.
This took both of us out. I'm pretty sure because okay. And then earlier, we were talking about Ready to Love and how all of that is going on. It's like,
Yes.
What is going on right now? So it's a lot with OWN right now.
And by the way, everybody, for those of you who thought that next Friday we would get Ready to Love, which from a commonsensical standpoint would make the most amount of sense, we have to wait until August 1st at 8/7 Central. Only on OWN, only here. #OWN keeping it real. What are we doing waiting for a whole nother month when this is the 10th season of this show, which should be a celebratory season? Okay. I mean, do what you want, but I don't understand distance at this point. I truly don't. I truly don't understand OWN's existence at this point. Like, we gotta wait until August 1st. For what reason?
Yeah, but not only just the waiting until August 1st, it's also like how they stopped it. There was no warning. They stopped it before we even got halfway through. And as long as it's taking, this is damn near a 5-month break.
Yeah.
People have forgotten what happened.
Yes.
If we didn't do, reviews on it, I'd forgotten. I have to go back to our reviews and actually watch them again and, rewatch the episodes, because what was the point in cutting it off so soon like that?
Yep.
And the reason why it definitely is bad is because this is the season 10.
Yes.
This isn't our season 5, 6. This is season 10.
Yep.
This is a big season. Like, they started off good with a bang with the, the wedding and everything, but then it just went down. And then they just cut it off. Okay, you put the Never Ever Mets in between the time, but just like you said, it would be smarter to, we even have the reunion. Okay, so maybe not next Friday. We'll do it the Friday after next. That would have been more logical.
Exactly.
But you wait till August?
August 1st is just like, by that point, it's like, do we really even want to have the energy to review it? And of course, we will review it because we're the best panel to do it, of course, and we love serving you guys, of being in service to you guys in a joyful fashion. But still, like, me and Gigi shows come more on time than OWN at this point. August 1st. I mean, damn.
Yeah, I don't understand that that thinking, but from a production standpoint, there's, like I told you, there's certain things that could have happened behind the scenes. It could have been a casting issue, could have been a production issue, and they had to do some retaping. There's a lot of things that could have happened. So I would really, I'm inquisitive to know, but whatever. We got the Never Ever Met season 2. It's the season finale. This is the last episode, and it was decision time. So I think with that, we can go ahead and get into it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's make it do what it do, because child, it was quite
It's a lot. Yes.
Just, my Lord. So here we go. We're gonna kick off with this first picture here, and of course, I know the comment section will have a lot to say on this episode, and plus, we have our poll question. And of course, some things from Reddit. So, that's always fun. And of course, we have the reunion clip for you all. Okay, so stay tuned for that. All right, so we kick it off with 2 days left in the house, right? Breakfast is being made in the house here. I love how fourth wall this show is. As you can tell, that is a piece of tape, because if you don't know, this is a little behind the scenes, and Gigi knows this because she does film. If you do not have permission from that brand to air that brand, you cannot air that brand. So, when you watch sitcoms and you see Uncle Jimmy's Slippy syrup, by the way, that's not a real syrup. Please do not go look that up, okay? But sincerely, they will make up names in sitcoms and dramas because they can't use real life products, right? So just to give some context there. But I love how the house is. I mean, you got the whole dishwasher open. You got, cooking going on here. You got washing going on here. You got you got Chris in hibernation here, and there's no honey pot though. Although I think there should have been a yellow hoodie so he could be Pooh Bear, the black Pooh Bear. Then there should be a honey pot here, but to no avail. Production did not see a joke worthy of being made in that. So yeah. So with that being said. My damn mouth. So with that being said, Chris is over everybody at this point. Cinco wants Chris and Alexis to leave together, and I do too. I really think after that Boxing Day, I think I saw a spark that could really be something, right? Not Cinco, but Jay says that Brandon and Kiki are gonna be leaving. Cinco then says Brandon and Kiki are gonna be leaving, and Jay then says no one's leaving the house together but them. It's like, okay, well, can we let the episode play out? I mean, that's what we're here for, Jay. Thank you so much.
You kind of know what she reminded me of. Sorry, not to cut you off, but you know what she reminded me of? When she was saying, I can predict the future. I know what's going to happen. She reminded me of Sahara. Talking about she buried the doll and a man?
Yes.
Burning candles. That's what that reminded me of.
Yes. Oh my God. Excellent point, gorgeous. For those of you who don't know who Sahara is, she was the very first Black woman. And I'm saying this with context, conjecture, and connection, because I'm sure there are some Black women and some women that have been sworn by bad men that have said this. Not on camera, but she was the first Black woman to have the Black Dazzling, Black Parks, and Black Imagination to say on national television that she has burned a candle and buried a man on national television. I'm not joking. She actually said this.
Hold on. You think that's the reason why they cut the show short? she done did some damn voodoo. They had to cut it. It's like, you know what? Now we gotta bless the whole damn town. We just we don't have no filming location.
That part right there. And I kind of wondered, just a sidebar for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder how the casting team felt about Sahara, watching Sahara from what we were able to see, because we don't know what's to come. But I just feel like they're just like, did we just open on to a lawsuit by a Black woman saying she buried a candle and a man on national television? Did we open up a lawsuit where she actually does this? We gave her the platform to say it. Like, how did we make it out?
Right. And on Ready to Live, they do where they go to the, other person's house and they get, have more
Yes.
intimate dates and stuff like that. Could you imagine
Oh, child.
going to Sahara's house and she
Nope.
has she has the whole shrine just sitting there in the living room. You just don't know what the hell to expect.
I would rather have Jill Scott, who played Lady Eve in the CW's Black Lightning, be in a burgundy leather BDSM outfit choking the life out of me, rather than going to Sahara's house knowing I could be dead the same night. No, thank you.
Call it Sahara's House of Horror.
Now listen,
Okay.
for me to say that I want to be choked out by Jill Scott, that has to tell you something, okay? Because I'd rather be choked out than to be buried down, okay? I don't mind being buried down in some places, but it's where it's enjoyable, but that's neither here nor there. We can just roll along, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is y'all fault. See, I drink my water, my black-owned business, and go on tour, and then y'all heathens, y'all hooligans, and you helpers of debauchery come over here and give this energy. I am ashamed. I'm beside myself, and I'm disgusted with y'all behavior. I'm flabbergasted. I really am. Now, of course, to my audience, they know I'm completely joking because they know I have this energy all the time. But I have to release the responsibility on somebody else so that way I don't have to feel anything. But moving on with that being said. Jesus Christ. So with that being said, Jay is saying no one's gonna leave the house here. It's like, can we please get to the finale? This is what we're here for, Jay. Like you said, Sahara's, energy. Charlie is leaning more in one direction than another. And then Kiki has a date plan, right? So before we get to Kiki having a date, besides my commentary, Chi-Chi, what did you think of this opening scene?
I agree with you. Like, when it comes to Jay, it's just like, one, we already have seen how, or we're going to say rumors, allegedly how she is and how she's off the hinges. And, we've seen, different messages and things like that she's done. Honestly, yeah, if you look at it, you would think like, okay, yeah, maybe her. And I actually thought Chris and Alexis might actually make it, but the rest of them, of course, not. So I was like, I don't know if it'll just be y'all, but there's other people in the house.
Exactly.
I don't like how Charlie, even to the very end, was still trying to hang on.
Yes.
When he has shown her how he is.
Oh my God.
Especially after, and I don't want to jump too soon, but when they get to the game, and even before that, he has told you basically that he put on the card, fuck no, he's not going to leave with you. You know this, he said this, but he's gaslit her the whole way. And it took for the very end for her to realize and actually open up, which I'm glad for her to, open up and actually express herself. Agreed. Like, hey, he's no fucking good. So I didn't, Charlie, I feel like I understand you trying to hold on, but girl, that she should have let that go. And Kiki and Brandon, we know, is not going to make it just because of all the secrets. And I feel like Brandon was into Kiki, but not enough for them to hold on like that.
Right. It's all good. It's all good. Run, Ron. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. I'm trying to think. Is this Josh? Welcome in. If it's you, Josh, welcome in. Go ahead, Gigi.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, but yeah. We see what happens at the end, but the nitty gritty is these dates and this game. So we can get into that because the opening was okay, but we need to get to the meat.
And Charlie, let me tell you something. I was watching y'all this montage of the Evil Queen. Charlie, the Evil Queen shows more love in these scenes that I'm about to play than Jared ever showed you. Why y'all watch this?
Yeah, when I met my boy, red light, green light. I call it red apple, green dragon. Shall we play?
Yes, you're.
Or actually feel better about myself.
The most beautiful queen.
Looking at the commoners makes me realize just how beautiful I really am. Exhibit A?
Exhibit A.
Me! Okay. That's the one and only. Look at the magic mirror in your hand. Who is the fairest in all the land? Me. You
tell me I look just like you in the mirror.
Well, they lied.
Children good for. Silence, peasant, I am speaking. You may go after them. Can I take a picture? Oh, I'm busy right now.
Oh, so no,
there's a line right
there.
No, that's not. I just walk where I want to.
Okay.
Low standards.
Well,
Like Kenya. Excuse me. Ugly. Thank you. How I feel. Release yourself, child. Any day now, peasant. Go. You're a prince? Then we can wish for something better. Haven't we, my dear? Maybe to have a dress that isn't a picnic tablecloth.
You're prettier than Snow White.
Tell me something I don't.
Do you see how much love the Evil Queen was evil to everybody, Charlie? I mean, the one that took me out was, they tell me I look like you just in the mirror. Well, they lied. Like, Charlie, you got a whole character who ain't even real. She's fictional, giving more face, body, and soul than Jared gave to you in a relationship on television. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? I can't. No, you're good, Josh. You're good. Let me hang on. Let me drop the link for you.
She told, let me see, the Evil Queen told more truth than what Jared did.
Facts.
Okay.
And she's supposed to be evil. That's the gag.
And listen, when I say these comments, I done went through a couple of them, and they already starting shit. Like, it's already there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read one. We're gonna start this shit off right. We're gonna start it off right. Okay, ready?
Right. Yes.
Young and Paid says, Jared likes men, and no one can tell me otherwise. I don't see Chris and Alexis lasting very long. They have zero romantic chemistry. A man that is into you will not go to putting you on pause. When she wanted to go into the boom boom room, he is still young-minded and immature. Alexis may have had better chemistry with Ty.
You know that.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can. Good, sir. How are you? Welcome in.
How y'all doing?
Doing good, my man. Doing good.
Hey.
We're just getting started here. By the way, for everybody that doesn't know, this is Josh from the first season. The first season, me and Gigi really threw it down, hold it down, and rose it up. For season 1, Aaron H. and Diamond came over. Millie came over, and then Josh came over. So we interviewed a really good majority of the cast, and made it do what it do, which led to season 2. Not saying me and Gigi made it a season 2, but I do believe me and other content creators who didn't give up on the show made it happen for season 2. So, but yes, indeed. Welcome in, Josh. Glad to have you here. To that point about Jared being gay, I don't think that this has anything to do with sexuality. I think this has to do with mindset, right? Because let me tell you something. The Brat and Judy That is my relationship and marriage and menage a trois until I get one myself. You come after them, God help your existence, right? They got a marriage, okay? So I have to push back on that. And then with Alexis, I mean, hell, me and Alexis would have had chemistry because, she's the, grown, thick auntie, that can, come through and make it do what it do of where are they at? And I got my arsenal. Let's go nuck if you buck. But also she could have a good time. And I'm an old soul. So me and Alexis probably would have had more chemistry. Of course, that's speculation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. But listen, if it ain't thick, it ain't right. Y'all should know me by now. But no, I agree with those comments. With that being said, Josh, welcome in. You haven't missed much. We just got started. We talked about breakfast was made. Chris is over everybody. Cinco wants Chris and Alexis to leave together. Brandon and Kiki are going to be leaving according to Cinco. Jay says no one's leaving the house together, even though we don't know who is leaving the house together as of yet. Charlie is leaning more in one direction than another, and then Kiki has a date plan. So, and Gigi just read the comment from our from the place where we get our comments from.
I'm surprised that they let them do a second date so late into the episode. Like, isn't this the last episode? I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah. Did this happen season 1, everybody? Because I don't think there was any. I mean, there were dates, but I don't think they were like full-fledged dates like we saw in season 2. Or am I off with that?
We had second dates. I just think it was different from what everybody did. Everybody did something. They were like, for instance, my second date is when me and Shay got the tattoos.
Yes.
And then I think somebody else had a day where they did like a photo shoot or something. I can't remember, but we did ours pretty earlier in the time that we was there, though. It was closer in the middle of our time there instead of the end. So.
Okay. Gigi, you can go ahead, my friend.
No, I just saw a comment and I just okay, I'm gonna read it just because if not, I'm gonna keep looking at it.
Okay.
Princess says, now this is her words, okay? Y'all do not come for me.
Oh my god.
Princess says, okay. He, speaking of Chris, he left with Alexis bad wig ass. I can't believe it. I don't think they're gonna last. That man too fine and mature for Alexis' old aggressive ass. I didn't say it, y'all. What's up?
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Personally, I would rather have an Alexis than a Janelle. Okay, listen. Because at least Alexis, she's very cutesy. She's very mindful. She's very demure. She doesn't go outside with a bonnet on her head asking about fishing or having fake Louis Vuittons or say about that make her existence be known to America that you are my footstool. Okay. Just.
I actually wonder, why does Alexis get a lot of hate online? Because I've seen a lot of bad comments about her.
Yeah, it's really unnecessary. And not to mention, too, I mean, when you look at Alexis, she's not really that bad. I feel like social media sometimes will find their punching bag just because it's available. But
yeah,
I know people with Alexis' personality in real life and on social media, and they live just fine. Like,
I really think it's just about her age. I think it's because she's older, and I think she's the oldest one that was in the house. Like, she looks more mature. You got Chris, like a lot of the comments is like, why is he with her? He's too fine. So a lot of people are looking at like, the looks. They're feeling like he shouldn't be with someone like her because she's too old looking or whatever. She don't match him.
Yeah,
so I feel like that's why she's getting a lot of hate.
No, I agree with you. I think it is a ageism thing, but also too, it's just like, isn't old the goal? And like her personality to me, I think she is a introvert, but around the right people, she could be extroverted. And let me tell you something: when she came with that brown hair and that brown and caramel dress at the Last Supper, child, she could have been dessert for me. But that's neither here nor there. They would have to cut the cameras off. You won't be able to air that on Discovery Plus. I promise you, or Max. Just saying. Let me alone. Look, home black office. Okay, listen. Me and Alexis made that home black, and that was our whole office. We used every room. Okay, listen. I'm joking, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm joking. With that being said, is that everybody's commentary before we move on? Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, I got to remember what happened next.
So what happened next was Kiki has a date planned, and Brandon says that there is a chance that it could change. That this date could change if Kiki shows that if Kiki shows that she cares about Brandon. And so Brandon said that, the USC Stadium, the Rams Stadium, but they went to Dave & Buster's. And I have to say, this Kiki's giving me, Cowboy Carter with the frills and everything. But, this was a cute date. You know what I mean? Because Dave & Buster's, it makes you, it forces you to have fun, right? So I do like the fact that Kiki, took it upon herself, even though it was the last date, unfortunately, to show some affection in a fun fashion, because she says that, she is soft, but she's not affectionate. So I did see this as kind of a good move. But the thing that got to me was when she said that Brandon was moping around and acted like a big kid, so I took him to Dave & Buster's to play some games. I'm like, now, Kiki, hang on now. Listen, you were kind of acting like a big kid too, just saying, all right, I know it's a lot, but let's move on with it. Okay, so listen, if you want to say he was a big kid, you were a big kid too. You know what I mean? So, what did y'all feel about the episode? No, well, not the episode. What did you feel about Kiki and Brandon's date?
I didn't like that little comment she made, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was a little much.
Honestly, hold on. I didn't like either one of them's comment because both of them I feel like was wrong. Go ahead and say your part, Josh. But yeah, I think both of them was wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just feel like at this point they're just trying to antagonize each other or victim blame in this situation. It's like you can understand his point. I mean, you kept a secret like that for that amount of time, and you was living with another guy. I guess can't remember exactly what the details were, but
So-
you
so
can't
let-
expect him to be. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, to add to your point, basically, Brandon and Kiki, for everybody that may not know, because people sometimes may not watch the show, but they watch the finale. So, Brandon and Kiki dated for 4 years. Kiki was still messing with her ex for 8 years. It ended it like 3 months ago. So there was overlap. And so that's where Josh is saying that, Kiki is doing a little too much to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I just it's understandable that he's a little upset about it, especially if he really were all into her like he comes off as on the show.
Yes.
So I mean, his feelings in that moment to me are valid, and she kind of invalidated his feelings, or at least attempted to. I guess what the young people say, gaslight or whatever.
Yes.
And so yeah, I wasn't feeling that comment, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, like I said, they both are saying like they're trying to victim blame at this point. I think he had already checked out way before the reveal about the ex, anyway, in my opinion. So
Yeah. Gigi, and no, thank you for that, Josh, for sure, and totally agree with you. Gigi, you said that both of them were doing much.
So we know that Kiki was wrong for the fact of her hiding her relationship. She was wrong for the fact that Brandon put in the initiative 4 times to go see her, and she flaked out every time because of her being with her ex. 4 years is a long time. Now, Josh, I know that you and Shay was together for 12 years. But still, like, that's a long time to go without seeing a person, especially if you so-called love this person. Like, there sometimes tickets, you know, train tickets, bus tickets, plane tickets, like, sometimes that shit's cheap if you plan ahead. Like, there's so many ways to meet a person that you feel or say that you love. Like, there's so many ways to do that. Brandon did put in the initiative. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I can't say I can relate on the part where, like, say I guess he did try to meet up with her a few times and she stood him up. That actually were issues that me and Shay had, where I tried multiple times and last minute plans got changed, or she started arguing with me, blocked me, you know, just childish things. So I could understand the frustration of that part of it. Like I said, because a lot of people say I've heard a lot of comments even from our season about, you know, plane tickets aren't that much, which is that's correct. They're not. So the issue sometimes isn't about the money. It's trying to get on the same page with the person that you're trying to meet up with. And then they have other reasons, like in Kiki's case, she was living with a whole nother man. I mean, as far as I know, Shay wasn't living with a man, but there were times where I did try to, you know, meet her and this stuff never happened. So, but yeah, we also wasn't together 12 continuous years either. So I want to make sure we get that clarified as well.
So 12 years off and on. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Now, with that point, being grown, there's only so much a person's going to take. So doing that so many times, like I can understand once, twice. Okay, that third time we're getting into some water. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we go on past 3, oh no, we're gonna cut this shit short, because now it's a waste of time. I done wasted money, time. Because people, you know, especially if you're working, you got to take time off work, or you got to make sure it matches up with your work schedule. If you got kids, you need a babysitter. You got to make sure that you got the money to spend with the person once you see. Like, there's so many things that go into it. So for a person to waste your time like that, that's disrespectful to me. So I couldn't do that. But seeing how Brandon did try, and she, you know, kept dodging, and as we all know, it's because she had another man. She was definitely wrong. Now, this is the part where I say they were both wrong. He was wrong because Kiki decided, Kiki was wrong for calling him, basically saying he was moping and he was being a big baby, so she took him out to Dave & Buster's. Because first off, I love Dave & Buster's. I don't have to mope or be a big kid. I just love Dave & Buster's. Okay? Like, who doesn't? Like, you don't have to be no big kid. Or I guess you do. I don't care. I don't know. Shit, I go to Chuck E. Cheese. Do you know they sell beer and wine at Chuck E. Cheese now?
Yes, they do.
My kids love it. Okay? They've been Chuck E. Cheese kids since the early 2000s. All right.
Hey, Chuck E. Cheese still got some good pieces too, man.
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for her to say that, like, I feel like that was disrespectful. Now, the part that I feel like made him disrespectful is because she planned this date. Yes, it's at Dave & Buster's. For him to say, oh, well, she could have took me to UCLA. We could have went and seen the Rams. Like, dude, be appreciative of what she did. Like,
I actually did hear that
almost
part,
seemed kind of ungrateful.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the part where I was like, he was wrong in that too. Like, be appreciative.
Yeah, because and to that point, I did say that, Gigi, when talking about USC and the Rams, but to in the words of SpongeBob, bringing it around town, to your point, you are right. I think that anytime somebody makes time and arrangements to do something for you, even if you feel the way that Brandon is feeling, and he's got every right to feel that, okay, you also did say that this date could change things for you if she showed that she cares about you. So on the premise of that, you should be at least grateful for the fact, okay, she's trying here. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't hear that he said that part. So yeah, I agree with that. That if he did say that, that was kind of too much. They both little seem like divas at moments. And I understand why
Yes.
she says he does mope around at times. Cause I mean, there's been certain moments where I felt like he was kind of overdrawn in some, but you know, everybody feel things differently, I guess. So I have to respect that on him. But yeah, so we have, he did say that. Yeah, I didn't hear that part, but yeah, he should have kept that comment to himself.
I mean,
And see,
listen,
hold
I'd
on.
rather
When it
have,
comes to that, oh, go ahead, Brandon.
no, I was just gonna say very quickly, and then back to you, Gigi. I would rather have a Moby person than somebody putting a FU down the ground and rolls for him. Okay.
That part.
Just,
That part.
if we really want to talk about which one will hurt more,
Yeah.
if they mopey, at least they still feeling something for you.
Yeah. But see, let's all look at the bigger picture when it comes to his demeanor and how it changed and when it changed. Okay. Now we always root for Kiki at the beginning because Kiki was like the cutesy little sister. You know what I'm saying? It was like we got to protect Kiki. But then when you started to seeing how deceptive Kiki was, that shit faded. Now I understand some of the reason why his demeanor changed. Just like the night they were supposed to cook together, and all of a sudden you're sick. You don't feel well. You don't want to help cook, so you're going to go lay down. But then somebody comes get you and is like, "Hey, let's go outside for a walk." Oh, you can go outside for a walk, and you can have a drink, because she was drinking too. But you can't come help this man that you say you're with cook a meal. Which I mean, Josh, you let us know if we're wrong, but that is the whole premise, is for you guys to cook together in order to kind of come together.
Right. It's supposed to be the intention of the cooking is supposed to be a bonding thing with the couples. That's why they switch every couple get a night, and so that was the intention of it. So her not wanting to do that in that moment, I mean, like I said, I understand why he feels some type of way, especially with her participating in other activities. Because even on our season, they didn't show it on our season, but me and Shay cooked for the house one day, which we cooked the whole entire day. But that night it got ruined at the dinner because that's when Shay and Aaron, they got into it at the dinner table. And I know I was upset with Shay because, we had spent that whole day cooking. If you wanted to start an argument, you could have did that tomorrow or another time. You didn't have to do that the day that we served dinner. Like, this is our day of serving dinner. And so I'm talking about, it wasn't even 5 minutes of us eating and Shay started going out where. So it's like, you kind of ruined that moment that we had the whole day building up to it, and you ruined it just that easily. So,
and also too, to that point, when it came to cooking for everybody who is here with us at the finale, Brandon wanted to make sushi, if I'm not mistaken, for Kiki, or hibachi. No, I think it was hibachi, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was hibachi, and
yeah, I think it was.
And it was something that Kiki really liked. So he actually wanted to do that. And it was the first time they were going to do that, but she ruined it. So, not saying that he got to be mopey, just because he wanted to. I think he was mopey with reasons included. But then, after those reasons were included, it just kind of took a life of its own.
Well, when you have more than one thing that culminates to create tension, like it wasn't just the whole dinner thing, it was also her communication, like her not wanting him to really touch it. There was no real chemistry in the beginning because I said it. I felt like it was because she was wanting to show her ex, like, hey, I'm not really doing anything. I'm not connecting. Yes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because this is something that, of course, he would probably see. So I feel like she's been standoffish and she's not been allowing herself to get close to Brandon. Brandon's trying and he's putting forth effort. And I'll go back to that, 4 times trying. So even before the show, he's been trying. He's not getting credit for it. And then just like, him cooking for her, trying to cook her favorite meal, he's being considerate. He's taking into account something that you told him you like, and he's taking the initiative to make this for you. And you're being disrespectful in a way that you are distancing yourself from him. Yeah. Why would this man continue to feel or want to be close to you when you've pushed him away over and over and over again. What is he going to do? What does it take? Is it going to take for him to get down on bended knees? Like, no, you deserve that with what you've shown this man.
Right.
So, like I said, we were riding for Kiki at the beginning. I know I was, and then that went away because I started to see just how she is.
Yes. No.
And Brandon can be, however, but I feel like he deserves better, and he probably can get better.
Yeah. No. Absolutely too. And here's the thing, right? What we have to recognize is this is a moment in time, right? Because how reality TV works is that you are the moment, but you are not the whole experience, right? Just like Ready to Love. This is season 10. When season 10 gets done, it will be season 11, and there will be new people, right? Now, of course, you're going to have your people still troll you, but for the most part, everyone will have moved on. And I say that to say that whenever we do our after shows, whether we do it on the Never Ever Met or Ready to Love, or, you know, my reviews or GG reviews as well, we always try to recognize that 10 times out of 10, most of these people have never been on TV before, right? So we do try to give that love, grace, and space, because at the end of the day, I think there's a lot more people rooting for Kiki than for Jared, because at least Kiki still had a nice deposition, right? If you hanged out with her, she wasn't mean at all. She wasn't rude. You know, she does wear her heart on her sleeve. So I don't believe Kiki's a horrible person. Now, in this experience, did she do some things that were wrong? Absolutely. But I think people will rather throw away Jared and Clavassier before Kiki any day.
Right.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm gonna have to disagree with something that you said, Bray.
Okay, no, it's all good.
And it's the part about her wearing her heart on her sleeve. I do not believe that is her, because she has not shown that emotion. She's not shown us her true heart. So how can she wear it on her sleeve if she's keeping it guarded?
Oh no, I agree.
Brandon didn't see none of that.
No, I agree with you on that. I meant, okay, thank you for that context, gorgeous. What I meant by, I should have gave more context to that. What I meant by she wears her heart on her sleeve is how she, you know, communicates with people, right? Because in the house, you know, she wasn't unpleasant to be around.
Oh no, she's very friendly, very quirky. Somebody you would definitely want to be around. She definitely has that.
Right, so that's what I meant by heart on her sleeve, that she does.
Okay.
You know, seem to have a care, not the relationship.
Yeah, I get that.
I more context. My bad on that, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I agree with that. Like, she definitely has, you know, she smiled. She has a great smile, great attitude. Like, Kiki definitely, that's what made everybody fall in love with her.
Yes.
Is the fact that she is definitely she's very likable. It's very easy for you to like Kiki and want to be around her. But the messiness of the relationship,
that's a whole
is what, yeah, that's something different.
Yeah. Fully agree.
And honestly, I kind of wonder, like, so it was Kiki's sister that came, or friend?
I think it was Kiki's friend, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Because I was just going to say, I wonder what her friend circle looks like.
Yes, same. I know she's a BBW model. So there are models that, you know, they know each other, like Precious Lee and Zoe Choi and Tabria Majors, Nzinga Amani. No, I do not know any of these women. I just support Very Heavy. So that's why I know the names. That's it. That's all. Yeah. Audience, don't judge me. Okay. Listen. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know if she's friends with any. I'm not saying she's not friends with those models, but I think, you know, Gigi, I think you're about to get what I'm about to say. There's a difference between having those Hollywood friends that we know the names of, that we see on a regular schmegular basis, and knowing Hollywood friends who are a part of Hollywood.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. But with her circle, I just want to know how many, like, a lot of people are yes men. You know what I'm saying? They'll just go along with what you say and do, and not really try to guide you in a positive direction or even give you like that good advice. Because sometimes, you know, the person that you think's your friend is really your enemy. So that the advice that they give you is really something that's going to set you back. But I feel like if you have real true friends, I don't feel like her and Brandon would be having this issue right now. Because a true friend would have been done told her, hey, you either need to let your ex go, y'all figure out what you're going to do.
Right.
And be with Brandon, or leave Brandon alone and be with your ex. And maybe her friends did tell her that. But it's a shame to see how things have happened on the show. And, you know, closer we get to the end, the more stuff comes out and you start to see like, oh, okay, so this is what's really happening. But yeah, I'm glad they got to sit down and talk, and Brandon actually was able to express himself when it comes to like what he wants, how he sees their relationship, and you know what I'm saying, going from there.
Right. And the fact that there was still some hope left at the end of the day was nice. For sure. So with that being said, I know we don't want to talk about these people, but we have to because they were in the episode, child. Hey girl, how you doing? My name is Charlie, last name Wilson. I was wondering if you see this motherfucking bullshit of this man don't give a fuck about you. Here is my number, and don't forget, my name is Charlie. Damn. I'm sorry. I can't. So, you know, with all that being said, child, Charlie sets up this date. She doesn't like nature. They talk about the pottery date and the feelings that happened. Jared said she was starstruck, and Charlie said that she felt comfortable. Charlie got his name tattooed on him after he got an Xbox, I think, from Charlie. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what happened. And then Jared says that you're my best friend, and Charlie wants to know the real. Y'all go ahead and take it. I felt like my Charlie Wilson introduction was my
Listen, opinion. Charlie was friend zoned so much. I'm not trying. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. It's not funny, but listen, girl, this man. You know what? Oh my God. This man has done so much. He has said so much. You have called him in several lies, and you still sitting there like you have no clue of what's going on. Girl, what is wrong? First, listen, everybody should have known that it was going to be some fuck shit when she came on here after just having a baby a month ago and she's still pumping milk. Ma'am, what are we doing? Why are we doing that? Did you even let your 6 weeks lapse before you decided to go to the boom boom room? This man is kicking with everybody else in the house talking about all he wanted to do was take you down. He took you down, and then he told you several times he really didn't want to be with you, but I understand because he was gaslighting. But girl, where is your own mind at? I don't understand. And listen, and just because of that, I'm gonna read this comment.
Go ahead.
Okay. So they're talking about Charlie. Ann says, exactly. And she's somehow saying he strung her along. She should have left that day. He said no emotion, that he was just going to have fun in the house and say goodbye. She chose to stay and hoped that she could change his mind somehow. Looking like a broke down Khloe Kardashian. Oh, shit.
Lord Jesus Christ.
I broke down Khloe Kardashian.
Lord. And you know what? Honestly, the sun was so gorgeous. I felt like the sun should have been like the moon from Bear in the Big Blue House. Like, you know what? I'm about to head out. Moon, come in here. Because I'm not going to waste this gorgeousness of me being the sun on this bullshit. That's what I feel like the sun should have done. Honestly, like, I mean, truly to me, this scene, like, you did to yourself. Like, I'm sorry. I know people who button smash harder on Mortal Kombat on Xbox and other game consoles than the smashing of y'all two trying to make an emotional connection. Like, what the hell? What the actual hell?
Well, ain't two trying to make an emotional connection. There's only one. Shit, the other one made his mind up after she dropped them extra kids on his ass.
I know.
Right, he threw his hands up. And listen, we found out, was it last week or week before last, that he has more kids than what he's saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So of course he was not trying to be nobody else's stepdaddy.
Well,
and,
I mean,
and from what he said about marriage, when I don't remember when that comment was, but I'm just gonna say it because it was some bullshit when he said, no, it was at the very end. He said that marriage, he got tired of waking up to his wife. So that's why he got a divorce. Sir, what? Excuse you?
well,
Like, you already said that you don't want to get married because, I mean, you basically get bored.
right. Well, I mean, to me, the way and Jared, this is the question I would ask Jared. How many women ordered your $5 footlong from Subway, sir? What? His name is Jared. What did you want me to do? What did y'all want me to do? Did you expect me not to say nothing at all here? I mean, how many kids does he got? Like, what, 4? So he made a lot of DoorDash deliveries of his $5 footlong to some houses. I'm just saying.
This comment says from Ann again. Oh shit! These people. I'm not doing this today.
Wait a minute. The fact that Gigi had no comment after a $5 footlong.
No, because between that and these comments, I'm just like, you know what? I'm about to just close my eyes and pretend I am Ray Charles in this bitch. Ray Charles said the bullshit. But Ann says the way Miss Piggy chugs wine every time broke Jamie Foxx verbally spits on her, it's just your turn with the dismissive shoulder shrug. Wow. He gives me gay vibes and should stop being a chauvinist. It's unbecoming. He should act like a true gentleman, which he's not.
Wow.
But could anybody count how many times he friend zoned her? And she was even saying, I feel like I'm being friend zoned. And even in that time, he was still gaslighting her.
Yeah,
but he was telling the truth, and she still, it's like it wasn't connecting in her brain. What is wrong with her?
No, not. I mean, the fountains were squirting harder at the World of Color at Disney's California Adventure than any pressure rising from this relationship on this day. I can't. I just can't do it. I can't do it. And I just can't do it. I am so sorry if you are on a plane right now, or on a train, or if you're driving and you just heard that you're going to Disneyland for the first time, or this is California Adventure. I hope you have a wonderful vacation. You probably are not going to look at the World of Color the same way again. And it just is what it is. But that was the metaphor that came to my head. Please forgive me. But this is a grown-up channel, so your kids should not be listening in anyhow. But with that being said, anyway, but yeah, like, it is what it is, Charlie. Like, it was sad to see, but also too, it's like you did to yourself, child.
Yeah, I don't have no sympathy for her because, like you said, she did this to herself. I mean, he made it clear multiple times that this wasn't going nowhere, and it's like whatever he says, in her mind, she's basing off what she feel like what he said instead of taking what he actually is saying to heed. So yeah, she kind of doing it to herself, and unfortunately, there are people out there like her, you have friend zoned them 100 times, and it goes in one ear and out the other. So
yes,
when it comes to situations like this, like initially you can blame Jared the first time, but after 5, 6, 7 times, it's nobody's fault but yours at that point. You're choosing to make a fool of yourself at this point.
Yes,
absolutely. And even when they were sitting there talking, and he's letting her know, like, hey, you're my best friend. We're best friends. Just be my best friend. Let's just start it to where, we leave from here separately. We work on our friendship, and then we go from there. Girl, that right there should have been, honestly, the nail in the coffin should have been when he let you know that he wrote on that paper, fuck no.
Yep.
And all the other stuff that was coming out. But for him to let you know, now he said he wasn't friend zoning you, but then says, you're my best friend and I want us to be best friends and work on our friendship. Come on. Could you not see it clearly? So I agree with you. I don't have sympathy for her. I don't, because she's making this choice herself to be played by this man. And she's doing it on national television.
No, I fully agree. I mean, thank God I wasn't a producer, because I would have had my JBL speaker and just will walk up on and be like, oh, do you mind if I sit here and then just play the song? F is for friendship, U is for unity, N's for navigating things. It's like, and if Jared tried to be like, is that the friendship fun song from SpongeBob? Ladies and gentlemen, my work here is done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Meanwhile, Gigi being the associate producer be like, really, Brian? You just had to play that song. Well, what was I supposed to do? I can't play Have I Told You I Loved You Lately. That would not have worked for the scene, Gigi. I had to play
but it could have, because he kept saying, I love you. I love you. Even though he didn't. I love you. So it could have been played in the background.
And the thing about it is, as delusional as she was, I don't think he had to lie to her. She still would have been stuck on stupid.
Yes.
So he could have just told her the truth the entire time, and she still would have been crazy. So, I don't even see why he lied to her.
And then the way she chugged that bottle after they left off was leaving. I said, well, damn. Matter of fact, there's a picture of it whenever Braylon, let's look at it. But yeah, I said, damn, the whole champagne bottle? Girl, it's deep. It's deep.
Well, I mean, she wasn't going to suck on Jared, so she might as well have to suck on something.
Listen, she already did. And what did you get out of it besides left?
And he definitely got it one more time before he left.
Probably did. Because she looks like she would be stupid enough to have heard everything that he said and still been like, one more for the road. Girl.
They need to be at the reunion show. They need that. Now, if she showed them at the reunion show with the pregnancy test, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Listen.
You know what? I'm cutting the TV off. I'm about to Kendrick Lamar. Cut the TV off. Turn the fucking TV off. What is it? Close the doors. Close the door. Close the door.
By the way, y'all, for those of you who've been watching the season, yes, I know that Jared and Charlie just got it in, but child, I mean, in the end, she still won companionship, so I'm glad she got to, have some companionship in some capacity, because it just looked like it was just done. But we
the companionship is why she got all them damn kids. She need to focus on something else.
But no, I was just saying that to just say, we do make jokes around here. So, and believe me, and Josh will tell you, even when we did season 1, we did so many jokes on everybody, but we also kept it fair on everybody too. Okay, so I mean, if you never had a champagne bottle, squirt in your face as you tried to open it, it's actually a very hilarious moment. So please understand, it was all in jokes, everybody. Okay, because Lord Jesus, we need some comedy around here for all the ish going on. And then here's this face right here. Like, what the hell? What the hell? As they say. Like, what?
Can we just say a mess all around?
Yes.
A mess all around. We knew they wasn't going to last. And that was it.
So I do have a question. Is she a white girl or is she mixed? Or
she's supposed to be mixed.
She's okay.
I think what was it in the first episode, Gigi? I think, or the second episode.
It was like the first or second. I think it was the first when they did the painting.
Yes,
the body paint. Yeah,
and I think it was a zebra, if I'm not mistaken, because how she was black and white. I mean, she definitely got black features. Listen, it showed up in everything.
Well, I'm gonna leave my comment to myself.
I mean, listen. She was serving IHOP pancakes, and he was serving $5 footlongs. Okay, listen.
Listen, I'm okay. Listen. Y'all see the banner? It says everything is in my opinion. Okay, don't come for me. All right. Okay. Now, what I was gonna say is, she has black features, but she has white tendencies.
You know what?
No, that's why I was confused, because I'm mixed myself, but I grew up with my black side, but I have a sister who grew up with the white side, and I just say I see the similarities. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it there.
Brother, you were more black in that birthday scene with Greg. You drinking your Dr. Pepper, you so displaced of. You know what? I see craziness, and I'm going to rest in my 92% of sanity. Y'all gotta go back and watch season 1. I promise you, it was a very poetic scene. It was Greg's birthday, and it was a lot ish going on before that, and and it's so clear as day. Josh is drinking his Dr. Pepper. And he is giving no damn fucks or ish about anybody. Oh my Lord.
You got to pick your battles, man.
Listen, by the way, before we move on, what did y'all think of the answer? Well, before that, just to give y'all the quick rundown, Brandon Kiki, because we already talked about them. But November 2020, Brandon texted Kiki the big heart eye emojis. First date, super sweet and thoughtful. And that, Brandon thought Kiki paid attention, couples game. And the best part was seeing her face for the first time, and Brandon had mixed emotions. So just to give you that recap, what did y'all think about, the yes and no? Because Jared said the yes would be, you would go home, I would go home, we would do visits, I would look for a job there. And then the no would be, we would do trips, not as many expectations, and keep as best friends. Here's my thing. After you have been flown out on OWN's dime, and after you've been in the house that you did not have to pay any, payment for, it wasn't an Airbnb. After you ate food and drank food that was not shows that you didn't have to pay for, and you've had 3 weeks to make something out of this, what the fuck does your ass need more trips for? I mean, am I making sense? I mean, sincerely. Is this not the Never Ever Mets where you meet the person that you've been dating in virtual reality or not? Because I'm just like, okay, bro. Okay. All right. I can't.
Was there a group around when they asked that? Because I've noticed his answer is depending on who's around.
No, that was just them on that date. That was the yes and no.
Oh, okay.
That Jared said on that date.
They got just full of shit. I mean, because I just feel it's pretty obvious. He had no intentions of meeting up with her once his show was over. And so when he said certain things, I just kind of just tuned him out because we just know he's full of shit.
Understood.
Yep.
Which is what she should have been doing.
Ass smile.
Wait, say that again, Gigi?
I said he has that malicious ass smile. Like every time he has that smile, it just feels like he's up to something. Like he's just like he's the type that will steal your phone and help you look for it.
Oh my God.
And then when you call it and it rings in his pocket, he's like, I don't know how that got there. What?
No, listen, I'll do you one. I'll do you one better. You know how when a husband wife goes out to eat and the husband gets some food that looks better than the wife's food, and the wife says, "Can I have some?" Or better yet, you at Disneyland and you're like, "Oh, that turkey leg look good. Can I have some?" You know what, babe? I'll be right back. You know what? I gotta get something to drink. You as you in line for the drink, you in the whole damn turkey leg. You come back with your drink. What the hell? Oh, it was a while for the drink, really? So you just asked me for my turkey leg so you can eat the whole thing. I didn't mean to shut get in this damn line for this ride. Shut your ass up. Shut your whole ass up. That's how I feel about Charlie and Jared. It's just like, it's one thing, but you do it for another. You know what I mean? Like to your example, Gigi. I just like, I can't. But I think we talked about these two enough, child. So then after that, Kiki and Brandon said, Brandon asked, say we walk out, I don't move to Atlanta or Alabama. Kiki feels fulfilled from this connection. That was basically that. But then they get back to the house. Everybody gets back to the house. You know what I mean? So here they are here. Cinco and Jay, Kiki and Brandon, and then Charlie and Alexis. And by the way, can we give it up for the Bonnets this season? Can we just give it up for the Bonnets this season? I have loved y'all so much with y'all Bonnets on. Some of y'all have looked like Miss Cleo, Call Me Now. Some of y'all have looked like the mothers of the neighborhood. I have appreciated y'all presence, your energy, and your investment of care this season. I just want you to know personally. And speaking of mothers of the neighborhood, the neighborhood mother, Alexis, is talking to the neighborhood dog, Charlie. There's so many ways to go with that, but we're just going to move right along. Basically asking, I'm so damn wrong. Basically asking Alexis, what should I do about Jared? And Alexis says, what boxes did he actually checked? And Charlie says, he checked on me throughout the day, and he got me at breakfast. And, when it came to Jared, he would be anything and everything for everybody else. But when it came to me, he never really changed for me. And, I took him on, and she asked, do you think that's a good thing? And Alexis was just real. Said it's a bad thing that you take all his shit. Alexis said, set him free and fall in love with yourself. And as the neighborhood mother, I would have to say very well done. I think the neighborhood daughter should listen to the neighborhood mother. What did y'all think of the neighborhood mother and daughter conversation that happened on the balcony?
Well, I'll speak from a mother's point of view, and actually having to talk to my daughter about her relationship and, you know, different things that was happening that, you know, basically not putting up with someone that can't appreciate her, you know, respect her, different things like that, because my daughter's a sweet girl. You know what I'm saying? So she definitely likes to go all out. She's the type, she's caring. You know what I'm saying? But with Charlie, it's like, Charlie said something that made me ponder a bit, because when she was talking to Alexis, she said, no one's ever treated her, because Alexis said, how does he check off your boxes? And she said, no one's ever treated me the way that he does. And that's when she said how, like you said, she was talking about the, you know, when breakfast. She doesn't feel good or whatever in breakfast.
And checking it on.
I worry about that because you have 4 kids. I don't know if they're all by the same man, if they're by different men, but the fact of the matter is you have given birth to 4 kids and you're telling me there's not a man that's been by your side that's brought you breakfast, whether they picked it up from McDonald's, went to Starbucks and got you a coffee. You're telling me nobody's ever done that for you? Because those are little things. That's not something that's extravagant that a person has to do. Even if you're laying in the bed and you feel like you're thirsty and he comes and brings you a bottle of water, like, you're telling me nobody's done that for you? I worry because if that's what's got you stuck on Jared is because he's done little things like that and you've never experienced it, honey, you're in for some shit. Because all it's going to take is for a man to do something little that you're not used to, and it doesn't matter if he's a good person or not. You're going to fall for it. And not only are you putting yourself in harm's way, but you're putting your children in harm's way when you're not actually, you know, like Alexa said, she needs to love herself. When you're not loving yourself, you're not in tune with yourself, and you don't understand how to separate your feelings or how to understand what you go through in order to not go through it again, it's a problem. Like she definitely needs to figure that out, whether it's therapy she needs to meditate, you know, she doesn't have to be religious, but find a spiritual, something spiritual you can attach to.
Right, like an anchor, yes.
Yeah. So I definitely feel like Alexis was giving great advice. I hope Charlie listens, especially, you know, because we still have to get to the game. Because it's not like he's just done saying stuff. Like he's continuing on to basically, he's trying to make sure that when they leave, there is no attachment. He does not plan to communicate with her anymore.
Nope.
That's just my opinion. I don't feel like he really wants to communicate with her. So he's going to do and say everything on this last night to make sure that when they leave, that's it.
Yeah. No, fully agree. Josh, what did you think about the neighborhood mother-daughter conversation here? What was your take?
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with her doing that. I felt like they probably should have had this talk a little sooner, honestly, but it is still good that somebody said something to her about it, because Charlie, she like I said, maybe she does need therapy. She definitely has a lot of insecure issues because, like you said, she got excited over the basic things that he did, and that made her head over heels. She's gonna be in trouble in the real world. Because men would do things like that. They don't even like you. Giving somebody a glass of water, you know, something simple like that. Men would do that just being nice. They don't not even having to like you to do something like that. So if it takes something that small to get you head over heels like that, I mean, I definitely believe there's some type of insecurity issues where she just accepts the bare minimum. That's maybe, you know, and she needs to take a look at herself and value herself. And like I said, she had kids as well. So bare minimum ain't enough no more at this stage in her life. And she needs to start looking for more than just the bare minimum.
No, fully agreed with both of your statements there. So then we have the final 8. Alexis, listen, if Chris don't want you, that look you did, just in the words of Kim Possible, call me, beat me if you need to reach me. That's neither here nor there. So listen, after all of that, I put Alexis is looking good in my notes. But anyway, this is the final supper, right? And so it's the final 8, and everybody's going around talking about what they'll miss. And, you know, Jay says that she'll miss, you know, being able to sleep with someone. I'm like, so you're not gonna leave the house together? Like, what? Okay. But I guess not having that every day, I guess after that, because you still got to figure out life, I guess. Charlie says that she got perspective because with just her and Jared, it would have been something different. But with all of them, they got perspective. Kiki said that everyone felt like family. And then, you know, everybody talked about the Boom Boom Room and that Alexis and Chris have not went. And Jared said that I'm not going to go to that Motel 6 Boom Boom Room. You know, Jared, I'm just going to say this, bro. You should not have said that because, bro, anybody could have said, didn't you go to that Motel 6 Boom Boom Room with Charlie? Bro, you're not the smartest tool, not the sharpest tool in the tool shed, as they say. Chris does not want to go in that room, and Alexis is fed up. She's like, listen, I want to get in the ring and get knocked the fuck out, damn it. Listen, this is a title weight fight, damn it. That's what she wanted. You know, I could be a friend of the house own if you ever need me. I'm just saying, Gigi, she's not gonna be my handler because I'm a grown ass man, but she will definitely help production. You know, let them know why, you know, the show is running late on production. But if you need somebody to move the show along, just call us. We're available. And then Toronto checks in one more time. Y'all go ahead with y'all take. I can't with my damn self. Oh my god.
I'm just glad they didn't give him a gift card this time. Shit.
You know what? To a furniture store that ain't even real.
Hey, right.
So for those of you who may not remember, you ain't right for shit, Josh, but you also right. So for the first season, if you all do not remember, at the end of the show, season finale, Taronda asked the couples who has the best chemistry, and it was I think it was what, $1,500 gift card, Josh and Gigi, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was a $5,000 gift card.
Okay, $5,000. My bad. Didn't mean to under.
Hold on, but didn't you say this one piece of furniture cost the amount of the gift card?
Yeah, like literally one furniture cost that. So.
So I did not mean to underestimate Oprah Winfrey Network. I'm sure that even though Oprah, you know, did favorite things, and that was Shark Tank before Shark Tank, and so she probably got, you know, some bigger brands that are more, you know, reputable and known and more sturdy, more ways than one. And you could have called her to get a better brand. This is the brand that you called. So didn't mean to underestimate the amount. But yes, a $5,000 gift card. But before those of you start getting excited of saying, wow, the first season, y'all got a $5,000 gift card. It was to a furniture store no one heard of. Wow. First season was interesting, ladies and gentlemen. You know, that's why we got season 2.
Like, they couldn't even give y'all gift cards to Aaron's Rent-A-Center.
I would even took a damn DoorDash gift card. Anything would have been better than that shit they gave us.
Hell yeah, I could have did something. They could.
I mean, the way Oprah did Harpo's hookups and stuff like that, I mean, y'all could have got free groceries from a year from Target. Well, I mean,
listen, a $5,000 Walmart gift card, do you know how much stuff somebody could buy with it?
Yeah.
The disrespect of them, but it's okay.
You know that furniture store is the same place where Tyler Perry gets his wigs from for his TV show.
You know what?
You know what? No. And you know what? That makes me think that's what that furniture was set furniture. You probably go in there and look at it, and it's the furniture that was on one of his plays and one of his movies.
Oh, God.
They're trying to sell it. Just sell it.
Oh
Like,
my God.
Oh my God. My Lord. But yes, so Taronda came through, checked in on one last time. And I will say this was very nice just to see everybody get along after everything's been said and done. I will say though, there was not as many fisticuffs moments like season 1.
Yeah.
This child season 1. Man, listen, Chris and Millie. I will just leave it there. Man. So after all that, we get to the game. Oh, here's Chris right here. About the boom boom room. I ain't trying to open that motherfucker. I'm like, bruh.
He said it with all his chest too. He was not getting in there.
It's like, dude, like Alexis is not a bad looking woman to get into the boom boom room with. Like, what the hell? What, like, it's the last day, I mean, it's not like you ain't got nothing else to do. And then here comes Taronda. I don't know why she walks like that. It looked like she was walking like a general or something. By the way,
yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, Taronda, she had to, of course, show up. She's showing up in them hats. I'm not gonna lie, I like her hats.
Yes.
Some of her outfits I'll question, but I like her. I like her hats. Right down.
By the way, Josh, did the production crew or team ever tell y'all season 1 when Taronda was going to like come through to check in on y'all, or y'all just happened?
No, majority of the time we knew ahead of time she would come. I say maybe once or twice she just kind of popped up and we didn't know it, but for the most part we knew she was coming beforehand.
Okay. Did she like stay after any of the games or anything? Or
Oh man, nah. As soon as she got done saying her spiel, her ass was gone.
She was not sticking around.
Nah, she was out of there. Shit, the amount of time y'all see on TV, the same amount of time we seen her shit.
Okay. Because every host is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just thought that was a curious question that people might ask. Thank you.
Well, I told you on our seasons, the first time that I actually met Taronda, I thought she was Alexis' mama. I didn't even know who the hell she was.
You know what?
So,
We're not Alexis' mama.
I thought, Alexis from our season, because this happened right after the little skirmish her and Dominique had, and she was saying that she was gonna call her folks up there and stuff, and then the next morning we see this woman come in and she was like, "Where's Alexis?" And I was like, "Damn, her mama got here fast as hell."
I cannot.
Because see, all the women had already met her, but none of the men had met her at that time. So yeah, we didn't know who the hell she was.
Oh my God! This is the fun of reality TV, because there are some people that know. There are some people that know Hollywood, but then there are some people that they just really are who they are. You know what I mean? They don't mean to be funny. They don't mean to not care or be displaced, but they just really are who they are. So just believe me, that type of energy is welcomed on reality TV. Like the way a viewer will be like, wait, that's Taronda from Empire. And then you're like, okay, well, I mean,
what's Empire, right? I didn't even watch Empire, so I don't know.
Empire as a business, but you saying there's another Empire. So believe me, different strokes for different folks, but that was genuinely hilarious. Oh my God. So then we get to the game, ladies and gentlemen. This was a lot of fun. So the first question was, can arguing be healthy in a relationship? Mostly everyone says yes. Is anyone looking to have more children? Some yes. Jared and Charlie said no. And then people said, well, we know why. Oh my damn. Y'all ain't got hurt on that bad on the last fucking night. Shit. They already know. It was the way everybody was laughing at their confessionals for me. Oh my God.
I know it was a number of producers that asked them questions.
Listen.
Yeah, they the ones that write the questions.
This game had, oh my Lord Jesus. I feel, and this is the thing too, this show is truly an original idea because for the longest time, online dating's been around for years, right? It's just evolved. But no one ever thought to put virtual reality and reality together until this show. And that's why it's the success that it is. And so I feel like probably that first season with you guys, it was the, guinea pig, but now they actually have a laboratory. They can do any experiment that they want to within the show. So I feel like the producers now can really have more of an observant eye. And this is what I mean. Producers, y'all, they look at the landscape of what's happening. They figure out what resources they use. They figure out what resources they have, rather, and then they create the environment to make circumstances happen. Okay, that's what they do. So I feel like, hey, listen, I want, and this is what the executive producer does. Hey, you guys are following them. You guys are following them. You guys are following them, and then down the line. Okay, guys, we got a game. Does anybody want to put any questions? I need 3 to 5 questions from each person. We'll go through it and then we'll give them the questions. Now, of course, I was not there on the set of the Never Ever Mets. It's not behind the scenes. But me and Gigi do give you the tea that you won't hear on the channels. Okay? So, with that being said, passwords, when the question of passwords came up, it was a no. And then here's the question. Here is the question. Do you believe in monogamy? Everyone said yes except Jared. He said no. And Jared said no, it goes against human nature. And and as Jared was saying his answer, he tried to backslide pussy pop and try to get down off of the Everest that he climbed because Alexis caught him in his bullshit of, wait, that's not what you meant by being monogamous. You were talking about sex-wise. And he was like, no, I meant, being with your partner. What did y'all think about that game?
Jared started losing his mind because he so much talked about how he is against marriage, and we can see how much he's against real relationships because, like you said, he has said some true shit, and I really wish he wouldn't have just said it in the confessional and said it to Charlie when he said, I don't love. He's basically saying he'd rather not give love. He'd rather, not give it because he doesn't want to lose it. Like he doesn't want to be in love. He doesn't want to really, what I'm saying? He's the type of never loved at all instead of loved and it didn't last. So he's against all that. What he said about marriage, when he said he got bored, he got tired of waking up and looking at the same person. Come on. Why would we think that he believes in monogamy? He is the type of person that he wants his cake, ice cream. He wants buttercream icing, vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream on every cake. He wants German. He wants a pound cake. He
Don't
wants
forget
it
the
all.
cinnamon rolls.
The cinnamon
my
rolls.
Lord,
Listen,
Yeah.
you know what? He got to have all of it, okay? Like, you can't skim him. And he's the type of man that wants to always keep options. Just like he said, well, if I get out of one relationship, I just get into another one. That's unhealthy.
Yes, it is.
Like, do you not know how many diseases you catch by jumping in and out of people's beds?
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, also, Jared needs therapy. He needs to be able to truly find out what it is that makes him not want to love or be in love. What is keeping him from being able to open up? Because there's something internally wrong with him.
He may
But
be one of those. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, he's just too old for this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he may be one of those type of guys that feel like he can't offer much to a relationship outside of sex. Like outside of sex, there's nothing else to him to offer to a relationship.
I get that. I definitely get that.
Because I mean, I don't see other reasons. Because I mean, I'm a man myself, but me personally, I prefer to just have one person around. Like I don't have the patience or the tolerance to entertain multiple people at once. I just don't have the energy for that. So I just feel like most of the men that I know who are like that is because they're trying to hide their own insecurities in certain areas.
Yes.
So maybe that's all he can offer is sex. There's probably shit else appealing about him outside of that.
No,
Yeah, I feel like that's very true.
Definitely.
But let me read a comment. Read a couple comments really quick. So Treyway says Charlie is male-centered and desperate. That's also why she's single. Men notice this and take advantage. The minute he told me the truth, I would have been home with my babies. Newborn baby probably forgot who she is. I honestly can see her on Love during lockup, falling for a prisoner. Kind of true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see it. Let's not be Delulu says something about Jay rubs me the wrong way. I agree with her on that. Casey says Jared's a whole fuck boy. And Antonia says they messy for having a reunion. No, I think we need this reunion.
Yes.
We need this.
Now, how did y'all feel about the part where they did ask about the passwords with the phones and Jay was saying like she didn't agree with it and basically said, I think she said something along the lines of, if she just says there's nothing in there, that you just should take her word for it and leave it. I had an issue with that comment because I guarantee if it was all other way around and she thought he had something in that phone, she wouldn't go for that.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, that was definitely a problem for me too, because I'm like, girl, like, come on, you already basically admitted that you didn't, you know what I'm saying, mess with more than one person in a night. And she does take me as a type where she's controlling. She would want to know what he's doing, where he's at all times. Like, that's what it is. But when it comes to her, I could see her being, like, don't worry about it. Or if you say, just like she said, if I say I'm here, just trust it. No, that's not how trust works like that. Like, if I trust you and if you want me to trust you, you got to have that trust wholeheartedly. It can't be like partial trust. But
and she's gonna have to soften up some because it's just like she's trying to be the man in that relationship and it's not gonna work. That dynamic is off.
I don't see them lasting, honestly. I don't see them lasting.
Like I said, she's definitely a more refined Sienna.
Yeah.
I actually see a comment right here about Jay and Cinco. Let's go ahead and read this from Ann. Ann says, Jay and Cinco definitely use the show as a game and personal ego booster. Why the fuck are they high-fiving like they just finished an obstacle course? A kiss would have been more on par with the moment, but they're fake as fuck. She's an old single mom and he's a young guy in Atlanta. this shit is done. They left together physically, but they went to different terminals at the airport. Jay is too fake for me. What do y'all think about that?
It sound like they were at the airport terminal, seeing them in different, terminals. That had some shade to it. And they weren't hiding their shade either. I mean, to say airport terminals, I mean that's a little specific, just a little bit. I think. I mean, listen, that's what we read.
I say that wasn't diving behind that comment, was it?
No, you know what? Oh my god! But no, to those comments, no, I agree with them. You know what I mean? And honestly, too, here's the thing, right? Season 1, I think because it was the first time a show like this was ever created, this was their first experiment, right? It's almost like a college getting a grant to conduct this experiment. They got the grant money. The experiment went well. Now they can conduct other experiments. So the first season was Taronda at a laptop, checking in on little couples. Because we didn't know if these couples, and of course it's no disrespect to Josh in season 1, without season 1 and the casting that happened for that, there would not be a season 2. With all due respect to everybody. So Taronda sitting at the laptop was what it was. Right now, eventually, as we move the season along, we wanted a reunion, but I don't think it was enough meat on the bones for a reunion, right? But with this season, there was no option not to have a reunion.
I mean, I really think they should have did a reunion the first season. I don't think they anticipated the show blowing up as big as it did.
Right.
Because I felt like there was definitely enough. Now I think some of it too was like security issues in a sense, as far as those reality shows, because they didn't want to turn into one of those bad girls type of reality shows.
Right.
Because I do think some furniture would have got moved on our reunion show if we had one. So I think that played a part into it. But I felt like we should have had one, honestly.
Oh no, agreed. And what I mean by there was more meat on the bones this season, like with Kiki and Brandon and Charlie and Jared. Though that was some rib meat, you understand? But I feel like
Yeah.
season 1, because it was so new. Like we had the DV situation, then we had you and Alexis situation, and then we had Brandon and Sienna. So there it was a barbecue, and food was served, right? But we didn't know how the overall flavor of all those dishes was going to be, and that makes sense because believe me and Gigi both agreed by the end of the show. We both agreed there should be a season reunion. Like you said, we didn't know how big the show was going to be, so that's no disrespect to y'all.
Right.
I'm gonna say this though: if on season 3 they have another person named Alexis and Brandon on there, I'm gonna know something.
Or Chris.
How 2 seasons? Like, is this a thing? Okay, it's like whatever. But yeah, I just feel like it's all a bit much. And there definitely was more meat. Like you said, Brandon and Kiki, Charlie and Jared, them right there was enough. But then we also have to go back to what was her name? His name wasn't Jared. It was
Ty?
No, the other one with the long dreads. The girl who said
Urban.
that she didn't feel sick. Urban. Yes.
Yeah.
Urban and the girl that he was with. That was another one. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I forgot all about that.
Right. But I feel like there's definitely enough meat on this season for a reunion. It's definitely needed. And last season it should have been one too, especially it being the first season. It should have started off like that. But
right, just
looking
to
forward,
establish the framework. Yeah.
yeah. But looking forward to the the reunion for this one because it's going to be. I can see furniture moving on this one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, without question. And for those of you who are saying like, wait a minute, Bray and Gigi, y'all are giving a little bit extra more than most. Well, that's just what we do. Okay, first of all, but second of all, when we say meat on the bone, see, we're not just talking about this from a social commentator, cultural commentator, media commentator point of view. Me and Gigi both are media nerds of social media. So we're able to put on the producer hat, the executive hat, the production assistant hat to give y'all some of that tea that you may not hear. So when we say meat on the bones, we mean, storylines that have been thoroughly fledged out. Not to say that season 1 didn't have thoroughly fledged out storylines, but season 2, this meat is falling off the bone. Like the sauce is dripping and there's not enough napkins because every time you get napkins, the sauce gets on the napkins and then it just makes your space messy. We're talking about that type of drip. Okay. It didn't have that type of drip respectfully for season 1, but the flavor was there. Okay. So that's what we mean by meat on the bones. We're not disrespecting season 1.
Yeah.
That's how Josh.
Season one was the prototype. Season 2, now we're getting into the real deal. We're about to, we're launching. Yeah. Now we're ready. And honestly, I can't wait for season 3 because if we keep climbing up how we did, because season 1, Josh, y'all gave us some juice, okay? Yes, not even just on the show, but on social media. The whole back end of everything that was happening, like there was a lot going on. So you guys definitely paved the way for there to be a season 2.
Without question.
But I want to see how much they're going to up it from season 2 to season 3 because it seems like that's what they're doing. Season 1, y'all was great. Season 2 was like, oh shit, here we go now. The season 3, what's going to be next? Somebody else going to be married. Their wife's going to show up. What are we doing?
Hey, Janelle, when casting open, sign up.
And the funny thing about that, they actually
in her shoe closet.
they actually tried that to pull that on the first season, but Dominique and Alexis ended up going home too soon. But apparently Alexis from the first season was married, and apparently the husband had been trying to call her and get in touch with her, and producers was about to fly the husband out there to the house.
Hell no.
Yeah. And it just so happened that they had their little skirmish before it happened, so they ended up sending them home. So they nixed that whole plan. But that was apparently the initial plan at first.
Listen, y'all, this is tea. We did not even know this.
No, we did not know this. No.
Wow.
So because Josh, it's interesting that and thank you for bringing that tea exclusively here, by the way.
And it's crazy that I said that and they actually have tried. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember we talked, and Josh, because you may not know, me and Gigi have talked about could there be a couple, maybe not what you said, but on the lines of what you said, rather, could there be a couple that comes to the house that one woman doesn't like their partner and a man doesn't like their partner, and then they hook up in the house? We talked about that, but we had no idea that what you said actually could have happened the very first season. That's some tea.
Yeah, because we found out, I think maybe right after they went home, that Alexis was married, because Millie's sister stayed in the same city as Alexis did. So, and they stayed in Killeen, which Fort Hood, little army city in Texas, and everybody kind of know everybody there. So they knew about her and knew about her husband. She told Millie told the rest of the house about it. So we had all found out that Alexis was actually married the whole time.
That is crazy. And Braylon, to your point about the couples not liking each other, matching up with someone else that's in the house.
Yes,
I see that. Like that's why I was like, what's going to happen next? Like, is that going to be what they pull out? Because
that has to eventually be coming. Ain't no way.
Yeah,
happen.
I feel like
I'm pretty
it's
sure.
definitely coming. Like it's Oh, wow, this is about to be Temptation Island, the Never Ever Met edition.
Child, listen. And Josh, thank you so much. And by the way, y'all, when we say Josh is good people, we really do mean that. Anything that anybody has ever said to me and Gigi, whether behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, we honor, revere, and respect what people give, because they don't have to do shit. They don't. So if you do say that, just say where you found it from. Grown people gonna do what they're going to do, but me and Gigi would do the same thing and give credit where credit is due, because we ain't jealous, okay? Because kings and queens don't have time to be jealous, because the only thing we have time to do is rise up people, not tear down people. Okay.
That part.
Just saying. Like I always say, it's one thing to call yourself the king of queens, another thing to be chosen as king of queen. But moving on.
That's where you supposed to have the soundboard like bow bow.
Bow bow. But look, it's all in love, because honestly, a rising tide lifts all boats. Like after that DV situation, and we say situation, y'all, because it was a part of the show, not to gloss over it. So please don't even go down that road, okay? But with that being said, after that, a lot of people fell off of the show.
Yeah.
But they did not stick around to see that OWN and Bud Murray Productions, who was the production company that produces the show, they actually handled it the next episode. So everybody talking about this show actually made the rising tide lift that boat to a early season 2 renewal while the show was still on the air, I might add. Because usually season renewals are done after the show is done. It's a few months. They're still watching how everybody's moving, grooving, and serving it up in social media. So for an early season 2 renewal, everybody did their part. So, but yes, indeed. So, with that being said, we got Alexis and Chris, and I love how Alexis is in her femininity here. It's so nice, and she got her kimono dress on. It's so nice. Now, here's the thing. Chris, why are you not looking at the bottle, bro? like you're looking at her, but you're trying to open up the bottle. Like, sir, your head could move the wrong way, sir. Like, I don't.
Well, we all know he ain't the brightest crown in the crown box. So
hold on, right? Can we talk about the fact that we went past him saying arguing? What is it?
Yes.
Arguing?
Oh my God! Listen.
What's that? Arguing? Yeah, that's right. That's exactly how you sound that out. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed when he read. I think what was the game or something. He read it out loud. I was surprised he got through that in one take.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what he said when he was reading the question. Is it all right for you and your partner to argue? What? Do what?
And everybody had a moment with him about, wait, what did you say? and then I think there was like one. Oh, you know what? It wasn't a question. It wasn't a word, but it was the question of, is online dating better? And he answered it so straight laced. I'm like, yeah, I think online dating's better. Hey, but you here with your partner though? I thought you meant general question. I will say, it was nice to see somebody from another show be able to show a lot more personality. And I will say, I do like that about the Never Ever Mets. And Gigi, you and me have talked about this from our media nerd, the social media brains, that this show breathes a lot more than Ready to Love. A whole lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially, listen, we done talked about it. How did they start Ready to Love and then split it? Just how do you just cut it off within what, the 4th or 5th episode?
Yes.
And then you don't come back for 5 months. What are you doing?
Yeah, no.
We done forgot about those episodes.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, right now the Never Ever Mets is definitely the number one show on OWN, I would say.
Without question. Without question. I will say that the Never Ever Mets has more heat than the 10th season of Ready to Love, which, by the way, if y'all don't know what the 10th season means in television, that's a big deal. That's almost like a decade in television. That's supposed to be celebrated. Now, I said, and Gigi will remember this, I said that the 10th season should have been from Vegas. It should have been big. It should have been bold. Nephew Tommy should have came in on a Ready to Love helicopter. Been like, what up, though? What up, though? Listen. As the host of the number one black dating show on national television, we did the motherfucking thing. We did it. You see where we are? We in Vegas, baby. Nephew Tommy taking over Vegas. Ready to Love starts right now. Like, that's how it should have been. But you
is that the same? I'm sorry. Is that the same Nephew Tommy from Steve Harvey?
Yes, the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Okay. Okay.
And no disrespect to Philly, because y'all birthed Jill Lee, Miss Lee, if you're nasty. So I will always be indebted to y'all, Philadelphia, for that. But besides that, and of course the Philadelphia Eagles and many other good things. Besides those things, Philly though got chosen. Anyway. Back to Chris and Alexis. Oh, my Lord Jesus. So, after all that, Chris and Alexis talk about the Boom Boom Room, and that there was going to be oil and champagne and strawberries and everything in between. Chris was for it, then he wasn't for it. What did y'all think about Chris and Alexis scene?
I think Chris has been on TV before, so he knew what to say in that moment with them cameras in front of him. But I don't think he had, like I said, he had no interest going in that room with her at all. Just my opinion. I don't know. You know, there's some questions about him from what I've read on Reddit, but yeah, it seemed like he wasn't. He was, yeah. So it seemed like he wasn't interested in that part at all, and based off the rumors I heard, it makes sense.
Yeah. Gigi?
I mean, that's evident. He was not attracted to her sexually, especially after they played the game with the paint and she was putting her hands up his thigh and his crotch without his permission, when the whole game was about getting consent. And she didn't do that. So I feel like that definitely turned him off when it came to like the sex wise, because she's aggressive and he doesn't like that. I feel like Chris definitely wants a submissive woman, and Alexis is not that woman. She's older. She's not about to submit, especially to a young man. You know, I thought it was messed up that they had talked previously about going to the Boom Boom Room and he said yes, and she was talking about getting the oils and the strawberries and champagne. And then you look and they're just in the kitchen and she just eating them strawberries like she already knew she wasn't finna get none. Fuck it. If she was gonna enjoy some, it better be them strawberries. Because Chris was not having it. He is not attracted to her. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to Maya. Or, yeah. Because for those who don't know, he was on Ready to Love Dallas.
Yes, he was.
And him and Maya, got together. And when this season started, Alexis even mentioned about how he took off, basically stopped talking to her for a year, and then they started talking. And within that year, that was the time when he was on Ready to Love.
Right.
So, Yeah, I just, even though they left together, I don't think they stayed together. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I do feel that. I mean, and to each their, I do wish Alexis and Chris well, because they both seem like good people. I think Alexis will find, I feel like Alexis will find her match just like Chris will. And I remember saying this, toward the top of the show. Alexis is not bad. I think she is extrovert around the right people. And I think her realness comes out with the right person. You know what I mean? Because listen, for a thick auntie like Alexis to be so aggressive, she has to have a submissive side to the bedroom. She has to be able to let go of always having to, suit up and take on responsibility and to carry the weight of the world, where she wants some pressure from that world upon her. Listen, I'm not saying to go get 7th Avenue body oil and to use that as syrup, if you will, on your IHOP pancakes or your thick waffle maker waffles from Hampton Inn upon your partner. I'm not saying that, okay? It is a suggestion. Moving on.
That man said he prayed to God and he told him not to go in that room.
Listen, that killed me. I was like, oh. He said, nope, I'm not going in there.
Yeah,
I'm not going in there.
Too. That took me out too, child. Oh my Lord.
Well, Alexis about to turn that boy every which way but loose.
She was definitely finna snatch his soul, and he knew it.
Oh, listen, let me tell you something. That boxing match, when Alexis had that smile, she was holding on to that punching bag, and she said, listen, he saw me that I didn't fall down with that punch bag. I'm like, oh, yeah, she got a streak in her. But I ain't mad at it, though. Not at all. So then we get to final day. My Lord Jesus, my mouth. So then we get to final day, everybody. So, everybody is, getting ready. Kiki is anxious, and, and I will say, this moment right here, I do feel, just a little bit for Kiki, not too much, but I do feel for her on the fact of it is the final day, and, y'all made it through. Right. So even on that premise of making it through, I still think there should be some consideration. Right. So then, Brandon and, Kiki talk, and, Brandon says we need to separate. But the way Brandon handled this, I really thought this was very mature, very measured, and in a very motivating response, because what he said was, I think we should separate. But he also said, I think we should heal from our trauma and ourselves. So it was almost like he really didn't want to close the door. He left the door open. And Child and Kiki just said, fuck that shit. Close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. What did y'all think about that?
Go ahead, Gigi.
No, I was just gonna say I've already said Kiki was not emotionally attached to Brandon, so her saying or them even going separately, I seen it coming. He was putting in effort, but then I feel like he stopped putting in effort even before she told him about her living with her ex and them dating for 8 years, even though her and Brandon was dating for 4 years in that time. Like I just feel like Kiki she's not capable of giving him what he's looking for.
Right.
So it was best that they split and just went their separate ways. Now, the fact of how Brandon did, where he just walked out without her, didn't try to help her with her luggage, wasn't trying to hug her, nothing, just that's the end of it. They're not talking after this.
Yeah.
Because I think you said earlier, Gigi, I didn't even think about it, but she's possibly still she's doing certain things because she knows it's going to be on TV because she may still be living with her ex. So when she leaves this show, she's probably going back home to where the ex stays. So I feel like a lot of her standoffishness was because she knew that the ex was going to see all this on TV. And then as far as Brandon goes, he's something's a little off with him. I can't put my finger on it. And so maybe he's just one of those socially awkward people. It's just hard for him to meet women in person or something, which is why he probably, tried with Kiki for so long. Because like I said, after getting stood up 4 times, there's no sensible reason to stick around for that, unless that's the only option you have.
Fully agree with both of y'all. And I did think it was a little bit disrespectful, Brandon. Enough, you could have at least, even with everything that happened, there's always a way to end everything, brother. Because the gentleman in me could not leave a woman like that with all those bags and stuff. That's just being raised from the South. You have a walk about yourself when it comes to how you care about people. But besides that, though, I did want to highlight that because most of the time when you break up, it's a lot of emotions going on where you don't even have a response like that of let's go heal ourselves and our trauma, where the door can still be open. Most of the time, that usually don't happen. So the fact that was said on national TV, I'm like, I can give credit where credit is due, but I fully agree with both of y'all that this was the end of the road.
Now I missed last week. I was going to ask y'all the part where I think she was asking if he hadn't messed with anybody in those 4 years, and he said no. Did you guys think he was lying about that?
I felt like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt so. Yeah.
I actually felt like he was telling the truth, but I feel like he was not having sex, not by choice. I think he just didn't have a choice not to do it.
Right.
That's
where I felt at, Josh. I believe that he was about the business of staying committed, but also too, he's human as well. That's how I
right.
So after all of that, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was the same thing. Sorry.
No, you're good. So after all that, they leave together. I did feel a little bit bad for Kiki because, she's not a horrible person, but also too, it is what it is at the same token. So everybody is, making it do what it do. Jared and Brandon are playing pool. Kiki is looking sad. She's backing. I think that this is Charlie. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So then this moment right here, Chris and Alexis, they're talking about, what has happened. And Chris said, we went through a lot together. We can, get through a storm together. And, I would like to leave with you. And the way Alexis was so happy, I was happy for them. I'm like, at least we got one couple here walking out the door. Because it just looked like, okay, you know what? This is a shit show. You know what I mean? But what did y'all think of that? I thought that was a nice moment because, like, at the beginning, it was like, we did see it, but then that Boxing Day happened, and then that looked like a real embrace. That didn't look like, oh, hey, good to see you, family member. But like, no, that looked like I'm actually happy I got recognized, that the work was not in vain.
I felt like it was just, like I said, it was a nice moment, but I still think they're going to separate once they left. So,
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reunion is going to tell it all, but I don't think they stay together. I think, like you had said before, I think you said it, Josh, that Fritz has been on reality TV before. He's been on a dating show before, so he knows kind of how to work the camera and, editing. So I feel like he might have said yes just to save face for Alexis. But I don't think they really lasted after that. They might still talk as friends, but I don't see them being in a relationship.
Understood. So then we have, of course, Brandon and Kiki going their separate ways. And, you know, then, of course, Jay and Cinco, they're leaving the house together. You know, I didn't recognize this Mo, but, like, what were they looking at? Because I feel like if you're leaving the house together, you should be looking at each other, right? I mean, was there anything interesting out the window? Because it looked like the same driveway from season 1. Like, like what the hell y'all looking at?
I mean, those houses are close by each other because the house that they're in, from my understanding, was the house we were supposed to be in originally, and it got changed like maybe the week before we were supposed to fly out there for filming. The house got changed, and we ended up at the one that we was on. But they're all like right by each other.
Okay. Now I appreciate.
Do you remember what area they said you guys were in?
Yes.
Let me think. Because I just saw when they were talking about them wildfires. Shit, I can't remember now. I want to say it starts with a P, but I could be wrong.
Pasadena.
Yeah, it kind of sounds about right. I know we was up in the mountains in this little secret road, whatever, and it was a whole bunch of different little houses. If I could look at a map, I could probably tell you, but if I could look at a map, I could tell you for sure. But we was definitely like, I mean, we wasn't like in the middle of LA, you know, we was out there in like say some mountain somewhere, a little ride down. So
here's
close
the
to I think Malibu maybe.
Here's the house, everybody.
Oh, okay.
In my bad, he said start with P, and that was the first thing I.
No, I said, you know what? No, I said P. It actually was a T. Now I think about it, it was like Topanga, something like that, maybe. It started with like if I can see a map, I can tell you, but it was like Topanga or something. Because there was like this little lookout over a cliff that we used to pass all the time going to the house. I think it was called like Topanga Park or something. I can't read it. Like I would know it once I see it, but
hang on, I'm about to bring it up. Hang on. Come on, work with me now, against me, please. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Come on. Okay, so here it is here. So
so I asked my husband because he is definitely from LA and knows a lot more about it than what I do. So evidently it's north. It's like north of LA, and I think he said there is one that's called Tachanga. Or Topanga.
Yeah, Topanga. Yes, Topanga sounds about right.
Hang on, let me type in Topanga. Topanga. Okay, Topanga. I guess that's Topanga Overlook right here. Calabasas.
Yeah, so because we used to pass that overlook whenever we used to leave the house to go to wherever we was going. We always passed that lookout.
Okay. So this is one of the hotels, y'all, Topanga Canyon hotels.
So it could have either been Topanga or would you say Thousand Oaks?
Thousand Oaks is we was close to there, but the house wasn't in that area. But a lot of the activities that we went to was in Thousand Oaks area.
Oh wow.
Because, like I said, the places where we actually were staying at is pretty much just a big mountain and a whole bunch of trees. Like a lot of it's hidden. It's like on private roads and stuff, so a lot of it is hidden.
Okay, so
And
yeah,
then
it's Topanga.
Okay. And this is Topanga Canyon bed and breakfast. So that's kind of the style of the house, ladies and gentlemen. So like this here. But wait a minute. Did it even show? No, it did show. Hey Linnell, welcome in. So here is Topanga Canyon bed and breakfast. So this is like the style of housing that happens in Topanga there. So Topanga State Park, as you can see right here, the Calabasas is.
Yeah, and if it's not Topanga, then it's Tarzana.
And then Tarzana's right here. Topanga State Park and Topanga over here, and then Tarzana's right here.
Then you see something like I think Topanga Lookout or some of that nature.
Yeah, I think I pulled that up recently. Hang on. Or it showed up. Hang on. Topanga. Out. Topanga Overlook. Oh no, that's Roses. Hang on. Sorry, y'all. Topanga Canyon. So here's Topanga Canyon right here, y'all. This is what it looks like here.
Yeah, so that looks
It
like
looks like
about
the
the area. Yeah, that's about the area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, so they
if
got a
that's the
lot
area
of hidden
in-
private roads.
Yeah, so you are most likely either in Topanga or Tarzana because that's what's going to be around there. And then Thousand Oaks would be close to that. So if you guys did a lot of activities in Thousand Oaks during filming, then yeah, you was probably in Topanga or Tarzana.
Okay, here's the Topanga Lookout Trailhead, Topanga Canyon. Here you go. See, you even get geography with this show, damn it. We try to give you a little bit of everything, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, indeed. And then here is Chris and Alexis leaving together there. Very, very nice. And then there were two. So Jared and Charlie, they go down downstairs to the backyard, and Jared is like, I think we should, split. And then Charlie, I feel like Charlie almost had a Taraji P. Henson moment from Hidden Figures, but really didn't get that energy, but was in the vein of it, because Charlie said that you really dragged it along and you wasted my time, and I never felt really comfortable with you in this, that, and third. And it was like, okay, it took the end for you to get it, but yet you still gave him all those chances.
Yeah, I just started ignoring the shit that came out her mouth towards the end. just being straight up shit.
Understood. Hey, Linnell, still welcome in, my friend. Gigi, what was your take on the whole conversation?
You already know it pissed me off. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There was no easy way to just, tiptoe around it. Like, all of it just pissed me off. And I was more pissed off at Charlie at the fact that it really took for this man to basically let you know, hey, we're not going to leave together. We're done. Like, I'm bored with you, basically. Just like he said. He doesn't see marriage in his future. He's not a relationship person. He's, all the signs are there, and she is just not seeing it. So I didn't feel bad for her. It's like, what did you expect?
Right.
So I mean, we already know they didn't leave together. I don't feel, even with him talking about you're my best friend, because even when they left and they were getting into the vehicle, he was, hugging her, talking about he loves her and they're, she's his best friend and stuff.
And Charlie was so done.
Yeah, Charlie was over it. For her to actually speak up and finally say, like, hey, you wasted my time. Like, you could have said this and we could have been on some friendship level and try to work on a friendship from the beginning. I feel like that's true of her saying that, but I don't feel like it would have been easy for her to do that just because of the attachment she had with Jared.
Fully agreed.
So now at this point, I feel like they both need to work on themselves. But you being a mother of 4, especially having a 1-month-old that you've been away from, that's the time that you need to focus on that and not worry about dating anyone else.
Absolutely. Fully agreed. So with that being said, everybody, who would like to see a sneak peek of the reunion? Say aye. Ladies and gentlemen, I love it, brother. Here is your sneak peek of the Never Ever Mets reunion. Roll it.
On the Never Ever Mets reunion, we'll find out if the couples who lasted are still going strong and if the others are looking for closure. There was a lot of secrets in this house.
Clay, is that sweat on your brow?
Wow. That's the gaslighting part. That is gaslighting.
Mind your business.
He slapped me in the ass so hard, my teeth clicked together.
You didn't say, oh, I like that. That feel good.
You are a soul that I would love to keep in my life.
Child, so much, but yet so little from that preview. Alicia's back.
You know what? I hope Charlie covered up that tattoo. That was bad enough. Why would you get a man's name tattooed on you that you've never met in person? I don't care if we've been talking on the phone since. I don't care. It's not happening. What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So to recap what was in the preview, you saw the whole cast is back, right? So you saw Alicia, saying mind your business. You saw, Clay get, asked a question by Tatiana. You saw apparently there was a little bit of BDSM going on with Ty and Brittany, smacking her ass, her team clinked together. Oh my Lord. And then Jared saying, you are so I would like to have in my life. What did y'all think of that preview?
He is continuing on with the bullshit, like, really. But Charlie looked like she was done. She looked like she was over the shit. But then again, a part of me feels like she's gullible that she would actually go back. If he said he wanted to try it over again, she'd do it.
Where is Jared from? Because Charlie's from Texas, right?
Yes, I think so. I'm pulling up the on website now because we still have the weekly poll to do. But since we are just chillaxing, I got the cast right here. So, Jared is from Columbia, South Carolina.
I'm just going to say, too, hopefully Jared is her granddad or a dad name or something, too. I just really hope that she didn't just get this man name tatted on her. She never met him.
Yeah, well,
I really hope that there's some other significance to that name and she's just lying for the show. I'm really hoping.
Understood.
From what we've seen, I think it's safe to say it's real. Like,
yeah. So a couple of things from the Reddit. This person here, her Instagram handle is the official Jessica, I'm guessing. He is friends with all my gay friends on here, and some don't even follow him back. Why didn't y'all go in that room, and why ain't he got no girl in the city he stay in? Wrong girl, Alexis. So that is about Chris. And
wait, hold up.
And that's her profile. I did not know they made bras that big. Because when I saw this picture right here, I'm like, wait a minute, it can't be no way. And then I'm like, oh yeah, she actually put that as her profile picture. Like, she was not like, I mean, it looks good. I'm not gonna sit here in front, but listen, but yes, that was said by that person. So I'm guessing that person is in Texas. And then right here, apparently Cavassier was on Miss Pat Sells It, allegedly, right there. There it is there. Yes, indeed. Speaking of the reunion.
Wait, what show was that?
Miss Pat Sells It. So Miss Pat, the comedian, she has a show called Miss Pat Sells It. And I know the show because that's the courtroom. And
right.
Says,
okay.
Miss Pat Sells It in the top right hand corner. Y'all, they still got the TV plastic on the wall on the TV. That's a damn shame. Well, I mean, it looks like it anyway. But yes,
now, Aaron J on my season, he was on that show too.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He had an episode on there.
Oh wow! Did he have any emotion at all in his court case?
Then it's normal, goofy, weird stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, just shit. The same shit. Actually, the girl on the show was even crazier. So she got it was weird. I didn't watch the whole clip, but I think I want to say this aired probably around the same time our season did, maybe a little before our season did.
Oh God! Wow. Well, y'all, they are definitely moving around. And speaking of moving around, Lord, there's a reunion next week. I thought we were done. Here's how they feel it. They pissed the hell off. I was hoping for Zoom calls like season 1. Child, there was too much. You could not do any Zoom calls. I'm more excited for the reunion than the actual show. Oh my Lord, we get.
Man, I'll tell you that Reddit group though, boy, they something serious.
Yes, they are.
They are something serious, boy.
Yes, they are. Actually, you know what, Josh? We actually made the Reddit one time. I think it was during your interview. They said, and it was a nice compliment. They said the show was a little long, but it was actually a really great interview. So we got mentioned in the Reddit. So it was
okay.
And thank you to the Ready to Love Reddit for actually taking the time to find us. And see, that's what I mean by, if you are good to yourself, it reflects in your content. You know what I mean? You don't have to do the most in order to be seen by the most people. Just give the best you can and let the chips fall where they may. But
it's like they say, you never know who's watching.
That part right there. But also too, if you know what you have in your arsenal, you know how to place a good bet, still not lose your arsenal either. But that's neither here nor there. I'm out on this show. No need for a reunion with continuation of these fake stories. I'm good. On will no longer get my attention with trash. To MWGILC 117, you'll be back in the Reddit next Friday. Complete road 3229. I hate the show. Once again, you'll be back in the Reddit on next Friday, child. Because there's always people that say they can't stand that they still cannot escape the show. So then here is Jay here So we told production every day we needed a reunion because we gave them too much good shit. LML, they kept shutting it down. What? I know production did not do that. Then months later, we get that call. Tried to tell them our cast had too many characters and too much drama not to get a reunion. Well, Jay, it looks like you, me, Gigi, and everybody were on the same page, apparently. And then, of course, she did a pitch for her and Cinco. Y'all want more from me and Cinco beyond the show? I see all the DMs and comments. We love y'all too. Keep rocking with us next week. Find out if we made it out the house. # never ever met. Child, do you remember, Gigi, when I said that there were spinoff shows possible from the show? She's trying to be the first Never Ever Met spinoff show. That's what she's trying to do. My Lord. Girl,
so did they make it or did they not?
Right. I'm here for the reunion. More saying Cinco, I'm good. Nah. That all right. No, really bad.
I'm surprised Reddit even posted that about Jake. They was getting on her for a few months not too long ago.
Brother, we read it.
Yeah, it was crazy how Reddit was getting on Jay and I think it was somebody. Yeah, the Alexis girl, and Chris too, boy, they was saying some stuff. I was like, man.
Yeah, we didn't get to Alexis and Chris, but we certainly got to Jay, and woo, she got a mouth on her. You all are doing great. She's a superstar, allegedly. So yes, indeed, there. So with that being said, y'all, we have the weekly poll question. Now we've done this for every episode. Every week it's a poll question where it ties up the episodes. Like I said, myself and Gigi, we do not read the poll question before the show. We do not vote because we want to be genuinely as surprised as you. In this question last season, I think it was Aaron H and Diamond that got the most love because they asked like which couple really was the best couple, and Josh shaded Aaron H as saying I think he voted for himself. But I mean, listen, I feel like anybody would do that. Like if me and my girlfriend were on the show, of course I'm gonna vote for myself. Like, come on now. But
I mean, voting 1 or 2 times for yourself, that's fine. But 20, 30, 100, that's just wild.
Understood. And by the way, y'all, there was a little more context, conjecture, and connection to Josh and Aaron H and Diamond. And go back to season 1 and our season 1 reviews, and you'll find out. But that's not shade or dragging anybody, but to relate the poll question. That was the last poll question for season 1. Now, on to this one here. The last poll. Now, listen, we're proud of you for doing a reunion. Can we get a weekly poll question for the reunion as well? Now, we don't know if it's going to be actually, let me type in the Never Ever Mets here on Google and see if it's just going to be a 1-part reunion or a 2-part reunion. Because Gigi, I think you said it was your prediction was what, a 2-part reunion?
Yeah, I was saying if they did one, it should be 2 parts and live.
Yes, indeed. So here it is here, y'all. So all we have is the last episode here. So no episode description for the reunion. So we do not know if it's going to be 2 parts. I said in my description box, I said it could be a 3-part reunion. And child, with this season, you can do it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. I promise you, everybody will be there watching. Or you can do Gigi's selection of doing a 2-part 2-hour reunion live, or if you can get it all in there, a one-time 2-hour reunion. But either way, we are definitely going to be here for it. So with that being said, here's the poll question, everybody. Which couple's final decision shocked you the most in the season finale? Chris and Alexis, Brandon and Kiki, Jay and Cinco, Charlie, Jared, and Charlie.
Chris and Alexis.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Now, listen, there's been times where when we done this poll, options have not shown up. Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture of this poll so that way, in case the option does not show up, I can tell y'all which one. Okay, picture is taken. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's make it into what it do. Okay, wait a minute. Really, technology? That's what we're doing? A blank result? Okay. Well, as we're waiting, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Okay, let me see if I can try this again. Hang on. It's legitimately not showing it. Okay, hang on. Let me refresh it. Okay, Chris and Alexis submit. Okay, here we go, y'all. Y'all, you know what? Y'all, Charlie and Jared did not show up. Damn. Nobody was surprised at all. America said, fuck this shit, we're out. No thanks. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. So Brandon and Kiki at 5.6%. Jay and Cinco at 16.7%. And Child at 77.8%. Chris and Alexa was the most shot couple in this episode. In the finale, season finale. Wow.
Yeah, that's the most, honestly.
I don't see it as a surprise.
Yeah, I'm about to say the poll kind of went, what you would expect.
Yep. Man. Wow.
Well, with that poll coming out, that means it is the end of the recap and review.
Yes.
We have given the trailer for the reunion. We went through the Reddit post, and we've given the final poll. So now it's time to wait and see what the reunion is going to bring next week.
Ooh, Lord.
And
Hey, so Braylon, let me ask you real quick, because I know you know more about how this works than I do.
Sure.
So, from my understanding, they filmed the reunion a couple months ago. So how do they, I guess, do a reunion before seeing the final product?
Very good question. So this also happens with Love and Marriage Huntsville, which has not been renewed at all. Everybody on has not put out a press release. So please, those dates that came out for Love and Marriage Huntsville is bullshit. Okay, just know that. And I referenced that show because me and Gigi, when we were talking about the reunion, me and Gigi did some research. So what will end up happening is they will film the reunion, and Gigi, quote me if I'm wrong on anything beautiful. They will tape the reunion at the height of the show. So because you said they filmed it a couple of months ago, I'm thinking they probably filmed it maybe around episode 7 or 8. And during that time, I'm sure that they, talked about everything that happened then, but they wanted to get them in a state of, okay, everybody, we're coming into the reunion. We're one to focus on this, that, and the third. That's how I believe most reunions are done. Now, unless it's Big Brother, that's live. Survivor, that's live, because that's months and months taped to this, the live result. But there's usually a money prize with that too, right? Where it calls for that. But that's how that usually works. They tape it months in advance, just like The Bachelor. Sometimes they'll do after the final rose live, or they'll do after the final rose taped. Because most of the time they'll tape the men tell all and the women tell all like months in advance. For example, by the way, y'all know Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve? I'm gonna break the news to you. You know how they're like live from Los Angeles? They're not live from Los Angeles, ladies and gentlemen. They actually tape it in November. No, I'm not joking. Give me one moment. Because one thing we do around here is we always have receipts for you all. Gigi, was I off with anything, gorgeous?
No, that's pretty much how it is. And sometimes what they'll do is right after you get done filming for the show, they will have you come back like a month or two after, even before the first episode airs. They've already gotten the reunion done most of the time if they're pre-taping. But like you said, sometimes they'll do it after the third, fourth episode. But yeah, it's always done months in advance, because they have to take time to edit everything, color grade, and, then be able to distribute it. So, yeah, it's a process. So, yeah, they have to do it months in advance.
So this, and thank you, gorgeous, for this. This is Andy Worsley Entertainment. He has done many shows here. So you see talent shows here. So you might recognize a couple of sets from American Idol. Which, that, and by the way, that's the Coca-Cola Red Room back in the day on Fox. That was the stage before you got to that's the stage before you got to the big stage right here. But the reason why I bring this brother up right here is because when we go to this right here, my second New Year's Rockin' Eve, this was supposedly done in Vegas and live, but we taped it in downtown LA in November. Shh, don't spoil the magic. Yeah, we don't just say things just to say them. By the way, that Christmas Day parade that Disney Parks does every year, it used to be live. They also tape that in November. Yeah. I feel like the people in Hollywood is like, damn you, Braylon. Could you just keep your mouth shut for 10 minutes? And then I would ask them, talk to my friends Gigi and Josh. Wait,
I mean, because I only asked because, like, me personally, I would hate to do a reunion before I seen how they show it on TV, especially that final, especially the last couple episodes. Because when you're there, it's one thing because you know what happened when you're there, but you don't know how it's gonna be portrayed or what's gonna be shown on TV until you actually see it.
Yes.
And so,
that's one thing about it is the show is normally mostly already taped by the time they do the reunion, just for that factor, just so that they can see, or even. And sometimes they go back on, because like I know when you guys did your confessionals, I don't know. Did you guys do it like same day after you tape, you go and do your confessionals, or they would replay what was done or anything? How'd they do it?
So we would do our confessionals at the end of the week, and then like they didn't show us a video or a reminder, a clip or anything. They just basically just told us what was said. So you can take that with a grain of salt if they were telling the truth or not. But because a lot of times, like I said, you're not going to really remember what happened Monday when they ask you something Sunday, And then I think maybe after we got done filming, maybe 4 to 5 months after that, they had us come back out there to do reshoots on certain confessionals, and then they asked us more questions. So we had to wear the same stuff that we had for our confessionals. And then that was pretty much it on that. Yeah. And then maybe months after that, again, is when they came back with the check-in thing.
Okay. And when it came to the check-in, because I remember, and Gigi, you can quote me if I'm wrong, beautiful. I think Aaron H said that he had no idea that those check-in confessionals or that check-in update with Taronda where she's sitting at a laptop was going to happen. Now, I could be wrong, everybody, but I don't think that Taronda took those calls live because it looked like the calls were superimposed on the laptop. You know how like when you can do a thumbnail and you bring up like a laptop frame and then you can put whatever you want to in that laptop? I think that's how it was shot. But Josh, over to you.
Yeah, so I don't know why Aaron told y'all that's full of shit. We knew exactly at the time what we was doing. It was basically a Zoom call. So they do, you know, there's different days and they will tell you which day your day is as far as the couples go. And then now mine said they call Shay because you're in a Zoom meeting, so one of you in the waiting room while Taronda's talking to the other person, and then eventually they'll bring you in or talk to you one-on-one and then bring you in. So it's just a Zoom call with all three of y'all. And then, they recorded then, you know, and then I think they just edited a little differently when they put it on TV. But no, I don't know why Aaron told y'all that. They knew what was going to happen.
Okay. And when you say the three of y'all, do you mean you, Shay, and Taronda?
Yeah. So yeah, Taronda and Shay talked first. And then they called me in, added me into the call, and which I was already in the waiting lobby. Okay. And then all three of us talked, and I'm pretty sure it was the same way with Aaron and them. Now the only ones that was probably different were for the couples who weren't together anyway. You know, so as far as with me and Shay and Aaron and Diamond, we left the house as a couple, so that's why ours were all done together instead of separately like the other cast.
Gotcha. Okay.
And same way with Greg and Millie as well, because I think both of them, they was on the date, I think, when the call came through with both of them, I believe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when they did the check-in. No, wait, no, I'm lying. Don't let me lie. I lied. They they had just broken up in at real time right before that check-in had happened. Okay. So this is like a fresh breakup with them two.
Okay.
Because the check-in, like I said, they said it was like 4 months later, but it was more like 7 to 8 months later.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, thank you for that behind the scenes tea, sir. And that's what we try to do, y'all. We try to give you a little bit more than most, because like I always say, if you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. So I am going to assume in that preview that we saw, that was not at the house. That was probably built on the soundstage, believe you me. Although it did look like they were coming into a room. But you know, shout out to the stagehands that can make in any set, and I mean any set, depending on the width and length of the space, they can do some amazing work. Okay, there's been some movie sets where it's like, how did y'all do that? But it did look like a set. It looks like they came into a room of the house that they were in, but that was not the actual house, y'all. Okay.
And they probably were on the set, because like I said, when we came out there to do our reshoots, we was at a set. We wasn't at the house.
Gotcha.
That sounds about right. But with that, y'all, we are going to call this the end.
Yes.
Thank you guys for being here with us. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channels.
Yes.
My brother Braylon Lee. I am Gigi Man. Of course, we have Josh from season 1 with us today. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you guys stay blessed.
And feel free to come back for the reunion, Josh, because
Yeah,
Ooh,
absolutely.
Lord, we're gonna have a lot to talk about with this
A lot.
because if
Definitely a
that
lot.
preview was anything, oh Lord.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
reunion, I
know,
feel like it's
right?
definitely going to bring out a lot. So make sure you guys are back here with us next week for the reunion, and see everybody next time. Bye, y'all. Good night,
Love you.
everybody.
Talk
Bye.
Good night.
Well, y'all, that is the show. It takes us a little bit longer than most to do it, but we give you a full scope review. I remember the first time that me and Josh connected, right? Because what happened was I put up the video of the trailer and Aaron H commented, and me and Aaron H connected and all that stuff. And then I got contact from home. And then I kept seeing somebody with like, oh, congratulations on the trailer. I'm like, wait, who is this? So then I went to the cast list and then I saw Josh, and then me and Josh DM. But Josh, you can tell the people, what were your first thoughts, rather, when you saw me and Gigi do our reviews for season 1?
Yeah, like I said before, because I've never been into reality TV space at all. I've never really watched it other than, Real World back in the day, or Flavor of Love or something. But so it was something I was never really into. So obviously when this show came out and just getting excited about it, so I got to getting all on YouTube trying to see if anybody was talking about it. And like I said, I ran across your page. You was the very first page that ever posted anything about it. And then you stay on top of it. So then I seen, a few other YouTubers, and I guess what drew me to you and Gigi is said, like, it was just the vibe of it. It was more of a positive and a positive atmosphere than just something just to laugh about, like not take it too serious, but understand what the show is trying to do, and obviously respecting the different participants and their feelings and emotions. But like I said, just taking it for what it is. And a lot of other channels I ran across were a little more hateful, a little more personal, and just wasn't the type of energy that I like to give out. Like, I'm not a really negative or messy person like that. So like I said, that what drew me to you guys' channel. And like I said, I've always enjoyed it. Y'all make me laugh and keep it real. And like I said, you say what needs to be said, but you also give grace. And I think that's the main thing that stands out with a lot of people, because a lot of people don't like to give grace these days. And we all have been sitting just like there's people that I personally know who I've seen them talk shit about certain cast members on these TV shows. And I'm looking at them like, you living worse than them. Your situation is worse than them, but you dragging them, so. And that's why, so you have to give grace to people, because anybody could be in any of these people's situation at any time. You never know what happened. Life is funny like that. Some of us have been in similar situations before. So I just think we all got to remember that we're all human. We're all living this journey in life, same way, just trying to make it to the promised land. And so, with that being said, man, I just like the energy and the positivity that y'all spread while y'all are reviewing these shows.
We do what we can, and I appreciate you giving us our flowers, because it's anybody can be the first to do something, but it takes somebody to be the first with integrity, right? Mm-hmm. And we try our very best to do that. Like whenever we did when we did the Never Ever Mess, the very first season, like I said, this was an experiment, so none of us knew how it was going to go, but the premise is golden. Take 7 couples who have been dating virtually and then drop them in the real world. It's almost like Jumanji Next Level, the movie.
Right.
This was just basically a dating video game come to life. When you choose like the different prompts and everything of like, ooh, is he cute? No, so. And it was a brilliant premise. And so me and Gigi just went off of that. It's like, okay, we don't have to hate on any of these people. We ain't got to do too much. Like, the premise gives us enough of a highway to drive.
Right.
And then from there, you guys added the destinations of where we should go in our review. So it really made it an easy time. You know what I mean? So And like I said too, I think that OWN is doing what they need to do with this show, because I think that this show probably is doing a lot more dating conversations and relationship conversations than any other dating show right now. Because I just saw the recent Bachelor, and I just saw the recent Bachelor, Greg Ellis. He just broke up with his pick. So it's just like, bro, like, like what it is though. So, you know, with this show, you know, it makes no sense to handle somebody and be like, oh my God, this, that, and the third. It's like, yes, these people have done bad things within this experience. But my Lord, I mean, they're just doing things on camera that would be happening behind the scenes, you know, privately.
Yeah.
That's
and
all
that's one thing. And that's one thing I will say I do like about the show, because this show to me highlights, like, so we're real people. We're normal people. We're not celebrities. We're not these just rich Mongols. It's like Basketball Wives. We're not these type of people. We're normal, regular people that live everyday lives like the people who are watching the show. So that's something that I did like about it. It kind of grounds it. And like you said, it puts the dating perspective. It makes it a realistic dating show, because everybody's not living like the Basketball Wives and the Love and Hip Hops and all those type. Everybody's not living like that. So it's unrealistic. And a lot of people do base their relationship off of those type of shows. And it's unrealistic, because that's not the life you live.
Right. I mean, at least with this show, when I watched, you know, when me, Gigi, everybody watched you and Shay, you know, get tattoos, or Chris and Cindy, you know, do a helicopter ride. It's like, okay, you know what? We could do those dates. But when you watch The Bachelor and they're like in Rome, it's like, motherfucker, I mean, the closest I'm going to get to Rome is pull up Rome on YouTube and put on my big screen TV. Like,
I'm telling you.
Like, you know what I mean? So it gives it a quality of relatability. And like me and Gigi said, the show breathes in such a way where you're not feeling consumed by it, right? And what we mean by breathe is you get to see all of these cast member stories play out. Now, of course, it's only an hour show, 42 minutes without commercials, right? On streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But you do get to see these stories breathe out. So it's not like, you know, there's any elements like a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-1, or it's like a group date where, you know, it's more about that moment. You know what I mean? And you really do lose the sauce of the people that are covering it. It's like, these are 7 couples. And even though there's only 7 couples, it felt so individualized in terms of you being able to check in with each couple. It was like check-ins mixed in with the group dynamic.
Right. No, I agree with that for real. Like I said, we all watch the show. Every character cast, even from our season, we all know people just like that. We all know Kiki's. Yeah. We all know Charlie's. We all know Jared. So it's like I said, it's definitely more grounded to our everyday lives most of the time.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think OWN has a runway hit. I do think that there will eventually be spinoffs from some of these couples. I think this. Now, I don't think, you know, any spinoffs are going to happen this season. I really don't. But
nah.
But I think by season 3 or season 4, I think we will start to see maybe 1 to 2 couples have a spinoff, because I mean the potential is there. You know, if you get 7 couples and 3 of them are fan favorites, those are 3 new shows who are open for the network.
Mm-hmm. Because eventually, I mean, just the trajectory of it, we're going to get a happy ending. There's going to be a couple that leave the house together and actually stay together.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like eventually that will happen. As you were saying earlier about, you know, a couple coming in, not liking each other, and they end up switching partners. Like, I feel like that would happen too.
Yep. Because it's bound to happen. I mean, the thing that I love about this is, in today's society, when it comes to content, people are looking for so much flexibility. I could see Never Ever Met South Africa, Ghana, Australia, Japan. The spinoff potential is there so easily. I mean,
or even have couples that's dating that are in different countries, and then showing their culture meeting and the differences between the cultures and stuff. Like it definitely can get to that point.
Oh yeah, without question. And for those of you who are saying, Bray, Bray and Josh, that's 90 Day Fiance. 90 Day Fiance and the Never Ever Mets are two completely different shows. Okay, we're talking about actual people who have online dating, not to get married. We're talking about to date and to see if it can translate. That's completely different than 90 Day Fiance.
I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, listen, let me tell you something. 90 Day Fiance, if you go down that rabbit hole, prepare yourself, because some of these people will get on your everlasting nerves. But it's a good series. So basically what it is, Josh, is that let's just say you were dating somebody from overseas, right? There's this thing called the K-1 visa that you are able to get that K-1 visa. Then they are able to come over to the United States, but you have to get married to them within 90 days. So that's why they call it 90 Day Fiance. And it is TLC's bread and butter. I mean, they got 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day Fiance the Other Way, a tropical version, Last Resort. They got one called Hunt for Love, 90 Day Diaries. They 90 Day everything. So it's a wonderful series. I do love it. I'm reviewing 90 Day Fiance, Hunt for Love. It's been a minute because the last time I did, I almost forgot, 90 Day Fiance, The Single Life. That's another huge hit for them as well. So, like I said, the spinoffs from this show, The Never Ever Mets, are endless. Eventually, I feel like they will do an all-star season where it'll be like 90 Day Fiance, not 90 Day Fiance, child. The Never Ever Mets Resort, where you get, Never Ever Mets alumni meeting, singles and seeing like, hey, could, Sienna come back and maybe beat somebody else? But also too, I don't know OWN's plans. A lot of times me and Gigi usually say the quiet part out loud a lot of times. So, OWN could be thinking this, but of course they're not going to say anything. But also, I don't know how far Taronda really wants to be the host for this show. Because I feel like with Taronda, this is her first hosting gig, everybody, in case you guys did not know that. But I feel like with Taronda, she appreciates the gig, but I don't think she wants to be a Jeff Probst or Julie Chen Moonves or a Phil Hogan type of host where she's doing it for years and years and years, and she's doing all the spinoffs and stuff. I think she likes being the anchor of this show. And if there are spinoffs, I'm sure she would not mind doing guest appearances. I'm like, hey, you guys, I'm from the original. I'm just here to give you some advice, and God bless you on your journey. But I do believe that there could be a Never Ever Mets universe for sure. Without question. I truly believe that. Like I said, of course, OWN's not going to say anything. But if OWN tries to, do a strike to this video, then it's canon.
Right.
if you see if you see that the video is not making any money, I will let you guys know. So guys, I got an email from OWN saying, Braylon, please shut your damn mouth and don't ever say nothing else about our plans for our network. But in that case, you could just hire me and Gigi, and then we would sign NDAs because you would pay us a decent amount of money because we're that good at what we do.
And anyway, I look at shows like reality TV shows. I look at it like WWE. Like, we're all old enough to we understand that it's a performative entertainment, but we know there are real people involved in it. But it's like we get it and people still enjoy it. Everybody know wrestling ain't, 100% real, but we still enjoy it. So
yeah, it's the fact of having a place to fall. You know what I mean? And not feeling so alone and being able to feel a camaraderie with other people. You know what I mean? So, but yes, indeed. Y'all, with that being said, that is our recap show, after show, and bonus chill out show with our good friend Josh here. We always end it with a daily motivator on this on our channel here. So the daily motivator for this one, my Lord Jesus, man. Sometimes closing the door can be a good thing. I know y'all like, damn, Bray, that's a blunt one. Well, first thing I'll tell you about closing the door is sometimes closing the door is your solution to peace. The reason why sometimes y'all have no peace is because you keep leaving the door open for things to come in. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing about closing the door can be a good thing is when you close the door, you now have the space to figure out what to do next, right? My mom has always said being still is a gift. And I truly believe in our country, we should be able to be still more often, because if we're being still more often, then we'll be able to make better decisions. And finally, closing the door can be a good thing. You always have the key. You always have the key to come back and pick up what you missed out on in terms of lessons. So, with that being said, everybody, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special, because you are always born a blessing and trust. You may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why? It's one thing to call yourself, another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. We have spent time with you. You have spent time with us, and hopefully by spending time together, we'll be great together. And always remember, where you're doing radio, television, YouTube, or living your best life, make sure the replay is not just ready for you to watch it, not just ready for you to listen to it, but for you to want to experience it again. We love you, we value, we embrace you all. Always remember, receive love, you gotta give it, receive love, you gotta give it, receive love, you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles you have overcome, where success you have achieved upon this particular day, we are extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. Wait, did I say what? Oh, know what you do. What you do in radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or, oh, child, you at least are happy knowing that some connections are better left not working out. Make sure the replay is not just right for you watch it, not just right for this too, but for you want to experience it again. We love you, we value, we embrace you all. Always remember, see love, always remember, or see love, you gotta give it, or see love, you gotta give it, or see love, you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles you have overcome, where success you have achieved upon this particular day, we are extremely proud of you, but no one's proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, listen, whatever's going to happen with this reunion next week, just know that there's going to be a lot more in the reunion than we saw on the show. But if you're always transparent in the episodes, you never have to hold back for the reunion. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's come, for the blessing on the way for you, me, all of us as a society, as people, as culture. We feel the love and we send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, You rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
On the Never Ever Mets reunion, we'll find out if the couples who lasted are still going strong and if the others are looking for closure. There was a lot of secrets in this house.
Clay, is that sweat on your brow?
Wow. That's the gaslighting part. That is gaslighting.
Mind your business.
He slapped me in the ass so hard, my teeth clicked together.
You didn't say, oh, I like that. That feel good.
You are a soul that I would love to keep in my life.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.